You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther Football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. And it starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Carolina Forest Panther Football here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network as the Panthers tonight look to more than likely seal Region 6 5A when they take on their biggest opponent in the region with the Myrtle Beach Seahawks here at Doug Shaw Stadium in Myrtle Beach. My name is Brandon Biskobing. I'll be bringing you all the action, and joining me as usual is Brogan Hillman. Brogan, tonight's the night. I mean, this is the game that everyone's been circled. It's been circled on everyone's calendar in Horry County for the past 5 months at least. First off, what has been the anticipation been like on campus this week?
That's right. I mean, it's been insane. We haven't played this game in 5 years. It's one that's been very missed, one that everyone's been wanting to see. This goes back all the way when there's very notable guys on this roster: Josh Murphy, Mason Garcia, just a ton of talent, ton of names. That's the last time this matchup was put down. And tonight, we open that box again. There's a chance for anything to happen tonight. Yeah,
like you mentioned, this is the first time since 2019 that these two programs have faced off in the regular season. In 2020, they faced off in preseason. In 2021, infamously, they also faced off in preseason, and then Scott Taylor, rather, proceeds to get injured before the season even starts. He wasn't supposed to be the starter anyway that year, but still a big blow for them. So a lot of history here. The Panthers have not beaten the Seahawks since 2015, when they defeated Myrtle Beach 24-20 here at Doug Shaw Stadium. But yeah, like you said, it's not as big of a rivalry as, say, Conway, because they don't, they have history, but it's been on and off. But still, this is Myrtle Beach. This is Doug Shaw Stadium. It's the biggest stadium in the county. This is the game. And, the other thing, too, if you guys want to actually watch the game, you can this time. This game is on the CW tonight. Turn on the game, see the visuals, but mute them and keep our feed on for your audio, of course. But this is the TV game of the week as well. And you mentioned it. First time since 2019. So no one that is currently at Carolina Forest has ever seen this matchup. So what are the players? What's the entire Carolina Forest student body talking about when it comes to this matchup tonight?
They're all talking about how they're just ready to get at it. They know the implications. They know the region is on the line tonight. They know the winner of this is most likely taking that region, so no one's taking it lightly. They know, again, there's a lot of anticipation just built up from the fact that they haven't played in 5 years, and then you flip the script. This is for the region. This is for personal rivalries across the sideline. We know a lot of these guys, they like to talk, especially with the internet nowadays. It's very easy to talk online.
Yes.
It's just stuff. A lot of underlying stories going into this game tonight. And like you mentioned, the stadium, I just want to give a quick little shout out to Myrtle Beach. This is a beautiful stadium.
Oh,
right
yes.
here. See the Ferris wheel over there in the background.
Yeah. Well,
sunset.
I mean, because we're a few blocks away from the beach, so not quite right on the beach. But we are definitely in downtown Myrtle Beach. You've got the Sky Wheel, to our left. It's a beautiful facility. They were the first ones to have the turf before everyone else in the county got their turf fields over the last few years. But yeah, and like you mentioned, or like we've mentioned before, I believe it's either homecoming or senior night for Myrtle Beach tonight. So it seems like we always end up at some sort of special event when we go on the road. One thing to talk about when it comes to this matchup is, and I know I know Preston never really liked me talking about this, but I love talking about transitive property games. When two teams face the same opponent, looking at how they've squared up. Both Carolina Forest and Myrtle Beach both played Irmo earlier on in non-region play. Carolina Forest, as we know, lost pretty badly 55-7. On the flip side, Myrtle Beach only lost to them 38-12. So does that tell you anything, you feel?
You can always take something out of that. I see where Preston's coming from. Obviously, I agree with him on a certain level that you can't really match up one to the other. But again, at the same time, you look and you wonder what caused those differences. Yeah. What's the reason for such a high score, low offense for the Panthers, and then Seahawks come out, they score a little bit more than the Panthers. They let up a little less. It's a little scary. Their margin was a lot less than ours was. We obviously got killed on the home turf. It's 50-50 for me. You look at it, you can take good out, you can take bad out at the same time. I think these are two different teams from when they played Irmo to now, and I think tonight will be the real test. And you can take off some from Irmo. Maybe Seahawks defense came out and played for Myrtle Beach. Panthers defense had a poor night against Irmo. But I think these are two teams that match up insanely well. This is going to come down fourth quarter game, and it's going to be a close shootout game in my book the whole way through.
Well, here's the big matchup, excuse me, I feel for tonight is, one, on the offensive side for Carolina Forest, can Jaron Fox get things going? If he can run the way he's been, the way he has the last couple of weeks against Socastee and St. James, this game's over. But on the flip side, you were talking about the difference between the two teams. Carolina Forest, yes, they've passed it a lot more this year than they have in years past, and it's been a bit of a welcome change, but it is still a run-first offense. Myrtle Beach is the epitome of a balanced offense. They are averaging 148 passing yards and 148.57 rushing yards per game. That's as close to balanced as you can get.
Numbers speak for themselves. Evened out. They are a team that knows how to run the ball, a team that knows how to pass the ball, and a team that knows how to mix it and throw your defense off, sort of lull them one way, lull them the other. And it's just a team you have to be careful on all cylinders. They can move the ball any which way.
And that's going to be an issue for the Panthers because, as you remember, against Ashley Ridge, that was the issue that the Panthers had defensively, was not knowing what was coming at them. And it hurt them badly.
That's exactly right. Ashley Ridge's offense was very explosive. They could move the ball deep, vertical threats on you. They could ground and pound with their amazing running back there in that backfield. Their quarterback could pull it and take off. They had a lot of different ways to move the ball and a lot of different ways to find the end zone, and they found success on every single drive that game, it felt like. If Myrtle Beach can come out here and they can use that balanced offense to their advantage, it might be a long night for this Panthers defense, and this might be an offensive bout where they have to trade blows. The Panthers defense really needs to step up, and they need to know to contain this balanced defense.
So we talked about on offense for the Panthers. Obviously, Jaron Fox needs to be the man in this game tonight. And we saw him more a couple of weeks ago, and the extra bye week, I'm sure helps. Are we going to see more of what we saw a couple of weeks ago with Chris Livingston, where he's going to get more carries tonight?
I hope tonight that we will see him on the field and we will see that fire and ice combo. That is really, for me, what the consistency has been relying on. Jaron Fox has been obviously the lead horse in that. He's been just an amazing elusive back, one that can break these big runs, finds holes at ease, and he's just moving the ball with the best of his capability. But at the same time, every time he puts up these great numbers, has a great game, you look behind him into the depth chart, Chris Livingston's having a good game. If Jaron Fox is putting up 2 touchdowns, Chris Livingston's right behind him in the box score putting up 2 touchdowns. And then you have Javier Higgins right behind Chris, who's also putting up numbers this season. It's just when you get this running back room going and you get it spinning and you can put all 3 of those running backs on the field and expect success from those running backs, that's when this offense is clicking and it's at its height.
Yeah. One thing to note about Jaron Fox, we have some full season stats now. He is only 107 yards away from 1,000 rushing yards for the season. So that is something to keep an eye on tonight. But like I mentioned, Panthers need to get the running game going. Myrtle Beach, they have that dual threat offense, both passing and running. The key for the Panthers defense is going to be stopping both John Simmons, who has a couple of Division I offers. He's their only Division I talent on this Myrtle Beach team this year, which is kind of unusual. Usually they have a couple. This has been kind of a weak year for them on that front, but he is still, a very strong wide receiver. And then you also have to worry about the double whammy threat in the running game of Michael Cohen and Antonio Brown.
That's exactly right. And those names, growing up playing sports around here in this area, those have been names that I've been hearing for a long, long time, both football and basketball. Those guys are all straight athletes, and they are studs. Their name is mixed in with these college Division I offers, any lower FCS, for a reason. These guys are straight studs, straight athletes. Trying to guard them in any sport was a very difficult task, and they are very well-respected competitors.
And you mentioned it, having that dual or sometimes even triple sport athlete is always a dangerous combination. Whenever you see a guy being a 2-sport or 3-sport athlete, you're thinking, oh, this guy's going to be good.
That's exactly right.
So we are about 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes away from kickoff tonight. I think they're about to do the national anthem. So we will step aside for a moment and come back, get some final thoughts, and get you ready for kickoff in this massive Super Beach Region game tonight here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
We are just a few moments away from kickoff here at Doug Shaw Stadium between the Carolina Forest Panthers and the Myrtle Beach Seahawks in what will more than likely be the determining game for who will be the Region 6 5A champion this season. Now, granted, especially with the change in the schedule, that's not necessarily true, because as of right now, Myrtle Beach, Carolina Forest, and North Myrtle Beach all are tied at 2-0. Tonight, North Myrtle Beach is at St. James, which I think, considering St. James has not won a game in the season, I'm assuming that that's going to be a North Myrtle Beach win tonight.
You got to imagine.
So, considering that, next week, which was supposed to be the last week of the season, next week is rivalry week in Region 6 5A. Carolina Forest is hosting Conway. North Myrtle Beach is hosting the Seahawks next week. So if Carolina Forest and North Myrtle Beach can both win next week, then officially the game in a couple of weeks between the Panthers and the Chiefs will be for the region title. So yes, everyone was expecting this game to be basically the determining game for who will win Region 6, but it could very well turn out to be the game in a couple of weeks.
First key is obviously going to get this run game going. You got to establish the run game, get this whole backfield in tune, get Jaron Fox running first. He is the workload of this offense, especially in that backfield. Then you got to get Chris Livingston going. You got to get this fire and ice. You got to establish Jaron Fox picking up 10, 15, 20-yard gains on the ground. Chris Livingston comes out and he does the dirty work at the goal line, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. When they need to get a yard, you need to get a yard or two. You put him in there. You let him run. You got to establish that run game. My second key is this defense against a very balanced Myrtle Beach offense needs to step up. They need to know what they're looking out for. They need to match up, and they cannot let any big plays up off the rip. They cannot let any big runs, big passes over the top. The secondary has struggled a little bit in the deep ball game this year. You have to come up, fit up against this offense, and establish your run game very early if you want to beat DC Hawks in a huge Region 6 5A game.
So you mentioned the defensive key. How do you, especially when it's happened to you already once this season against Ashley Ridge, you were dominated by a very well-balanced team. How do you prepare for a team defensively that's this balanced where you don't know from one play to the next if it's going to be a run or a pass?
That's right. There's no way to truly tell. You have to go out, and this is why you run a lot of zone offense. You can stick in your zone. You know where your assignments are, where the men are going on that offense. You can stick, stay strong. You also, if you want to trust it, you can switch to a man. They are very, very athletic over in Myrtle Beach. They know what they're doing. They know how to get off the ball. They know how to get vertical. They know how to get yards. You have to match up. You cannot let them get vertical on you. They're going to try it. We know they love pushing the ball downfield. They love their big runs. You have to cut off those assignments, and you have to make sure their playmakers cannot eat early.
So you would say you would expect to see a lot of zone defense tonight.
That's what I would expect.
Okay. And feel it in the stadium. This place, honestly, not as packed as I was expecting it to be. The visitors' side is certainly well attended, about 75% full, but still, with this game, the two teams only 30 minutes apart, and the excitement around the Super Beach region all year, I was expecting a packed house tonight.
That's right. It seems like not a lot of fans got the memo tonight.
No, there's a good few empty seats out here tonight, which is very surprising to me. But we'll see as the night progresses. Maybe some people are being fashionably late. I know a lot of people probably might have thought it was a 7:30 start or something, because obviously with this game being on TV, the game is starting at 7:05. But yeah, the Panthers and Seahawks getting ready to take the field right now. They have a big pirate head, a big logo head out there that the Seahawks run through. That's pretty dope out there.
That is sick. They have it right on the track.
That thing is huge.
Run right through it. You make a styleable entrance here.
Yes.
For sure. If there's one thing Myrtle Beach is doing, they're giving these fans an experience along with the game.
Oh, yeah. This place is definitely, like we mentioned, Doug Shaw Stadium. It was built by the city. It's definitely the best stadium for high school football in the county. And they are showing off tonight.
That's exactly right. Very, very impressive stuff here coming out of the media team and game day experience.
Yes, game day experience is a big key here at Doug Shaw Stadium as both teams are taking the field. The Seahawks will receive the opening kickoff, and we are just moments away from getting this highly anticipated matchup underway. This has been one that has been circled on everyone's calendars in Horry County since it was announced. Since, I would argue, maybe since the Beach region was announced, especially with how long it's been since these two teams played and everyone knew that they'd be the two powerhouses in the region. But especially once the schedule was announced, everyone said, yeah, this is going to be the matchup of the year for both of these teams.
Absolutely. Get the calendar out, get the marker out, and write it down instantly. And I'll tell you right now, as a sports fan in general, there's a pit in my stomach. This is a huge game. Not even picking sides, just knowing straight up implications for either side. It's getting nervous in here. You can feel a lot of tension, a lot of energy in the air.
We were talking about it before the game, before we went on the air, as the kick is up and we are underway, fielded at the 30-yard line, taken all the way out. And did the Panthers recover it? I think the Panthers did. A fumble, and the Panthers have the ball.
A huge start to this game, because not only did the Panthers start with the ball right now after recovering a big fumble, they deferred the kickoff.
Yeah,
they get the ball to start the second half.
So they get the ball to start off both halves. That's a rarity in football, for sure. But the Panthers come up with the fumble recovery, and the Panthers will start this game on offense instead of defense in Myrtle Beach territory. That's a huge momentum spike right off the bat for Myrtle Beach.
You want to talk about a way to start for the Panthers?
Yeah.
In a huge rivalry game, knowing the implications, that's one way to do it.
Patrick Mullen out there with Jaron Fox right next to him. Shotgun set, two wide on either side. Mullen takes a snap, speed option, pitches it out to Fox. Fox fumbles it, and the Seahawks come up with it. Two straight turnovers to start off this game, and this game is starting off on a wild front.
Wow. You want to talk about energy, you want to talk about anticipation, you want to talk about building a matchup.
That's actually a good point. How much of that, those first two plays resulting in turnovers, how much of it does have to do with the nerves and does have to do with that anticipation?
A lot of it. These guys have been ready to play. Much like you mentioned, the fans marking this game off on their calendar, the players just so much. They're ready to come out here and play a huge game, and it's delivering on the first two plays.
Shotgun set, two wide on the far side, throwing it deep, and it is overthrown, but a flag is thrown, and it looks like it'll be pass interference on the Panthers. Trying to get it to Simmons. On the first play was Gibson Goodrow. And that is not the way the Panthers defense wants to start this game, having a pass interference called on them right off the bat.
And we talked about this vertical offense. They're going straight at their big receiver first play, taking a shot. Because he's either going up and making a good contest on that high point ball, or he's drawing penalties because no DB wants to jump with a receiver that tall. It's just a hard, impossible task.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Seahawks. But yeah, like we were talking about, I mean, we were talking about it before we even went on the air. This is one of those games where you're just kind of sitting there waiting for it to start. And I think because of that atmosphere, we've seen kind of some sloppy plays for both teams to start this game off.
That's right. This atmosphere does not create an easy playing environment.
Shotgun set 3 wide on the far side. Goodrow will hand it off to Cohen, and he'll get taken down after a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd and 7.
And being put in a situation such as this to start off the game, this is going to test the team's resilience. You both trade blows very early in this game. How are you going to respond on either end, and how are you going to come out and match up the rest of this matchup?
Shotgun set 2 wide, actually 3 wide on the far side. Goodrow takes the snap, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, lofts it up, trying to go to Simmons again, and again there might be a pass interference call. No flag this time. Good defense. Good job by Gardner on that one, staying with the ball and avoiding the pass interference, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Again, taking shots. They know what they have in their big man and John Simmons on that edge. They're throwing at him. They're going at him early. They're going to try to get him to make a play, build up this environment, build up momentum, and they just haven't been able to hit him.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Simmons steps up into the pocket, trying to get around. Still on his feet, getting some pressure, and just has to throw it away.
There's a flag in the backfield near the quarterback, and you got to imagine this might be a pass interference here in the backfield.
We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
Roughing the passer, my apologies.
Yeah. But he didn't. I don't think it would be, because he got the pass off just as the guy got there.
Definitely going to be some discussion between these refs for sure. A big call here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, big penalty call here early on in this game. And it's going to be an illegal procedure, but it is going to be a roughing the passer on the Panthers as well. Those penalties will offset, so they'll replay the down. But I don't understand why that was a roughing the passer. He threw it just as the Panther defender got there.
The ref must have saw something that he thought inclined a roughing the passer.
I guess. But either way, that'll bring up a 3rd and 7 once again. They'll go empty backfield, 3 wide on the far side. 1-step drop, lofting it up into the area, and it's caught. 1st down and more. This time going to J.J. Brown on the post route, and he'll get the Seahawks into the red zone and further. That ball will be downed at the 11-yard line.
The Seahawks go into the air 4 straight passes in a row to start off this game. They put the ball on the ground once. It got stuffed up by Q Johnson there on the D-line. They just know what they want to establish early. They want to get the pass game off as soon as possible, and they're doing just that.
Mass substitution by the Panthers. I don't know if they were able to even get set in time before the snap was taken, handed off to Antonio Brown, and he'll get a gain of 4, and that'll make it 5, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 from the 6-yard line for the Seahawks.
You mentioned that they're deep into Panthers territory, and we know if there's one thing this defense has done very well, it's bend but not break this season, and they're in another opportunity just like that earlier to start off this game.
A power set for the Seahawks, running it and trying to plow his way through the line, getting held up at the 2-yard line. I believe that was Antonio Brown as well, again on a wildcat. There is a flag, however.
So we mentioned the balanced offense. We're seeing it right out the gate for these Seahawks. Going right down the field, pass, run, pass, run. Are you sensing a pattern?
Yeah.
I think they got a little bit of balance going on there in that offensive play calling, and they're finding their rhythm.
I mean, I said it during the pregame. It's basically even in terms of the passing and rushing efficiency for the Seahawks. That penalty was on Myrtle Beach, so that'll push them back. It'll be a 2nd and 14 from the 16-yard line. 2nd and 15. Shotgun set, empty backfield, stepping up into the pocket, trying to run it himself is Goodrow, but he'll get taken down after a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
Panthers done a great job so far in region play of getting pressure in the backfield on quarterbacks, not making it easy for them to make decisions in the pocket. And they're causing Goodrow to run out of the pocket, try to find something, make something work, and they're fitting up well, drawing up a long 3rd down.
3 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter. Early on in this game, still scoreless. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Play action pass, and just lofts it way over the head of, I believe that was Michael Cohen he was trying to go to on it. I don't even know if that was supposed to be a screen or what. A bit of miscommunication or something for the Seahawks, but either way, it'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like they'll try to kick the field goal.
Definitely some miscommunication. Looked like he's looking for a screen route far onto the right sideline. A guy lined up in the slot, and he just puts it way over his head. Definitely supposed to be going out either wide or the quarterback didn't get the signal, and it was a screen to the slot.
Penalty is called. It'll be an offsides on Carolina Forest. That will not be enough for a 1st down, so it'll still be 4th down. Rivers Schumacher will come out to kick the the field goal, and he'll put it through the uprights, and that'll be the first point on the board for the evening. So with 8:42 left to go in the first quarter, Myrtle Beach gets on the board first, 3-0. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee right here in Carolina Forest can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers offense trying to avoid what happened to them in their first drive of the evening, having the ball fumbled on a speed option to Jaron Fox and losing it on the first offensive play of the game. We talked about it earlier, the nerves and, the anticipation and coming out rough as a result of that. In a game like this, how long does it take for those nerves to kind of go away and for you to get into the flow of the game?
I would say it honestly takes a couple drives. You're not going to be fully settled into this game until you're on the field, maybe your 2nd or 3rd drive.
So basically not until the 2nd quarter, at least.
That's exactly right, because we know, especially with how balanced this Seahawks offense is, that creates a big time of possession for that team. These Panthers, they got to get on the field, they got to stay on the field, and they just got to get their game plan installed to start off.
Kick is taken by Quant, and he'll get taken down at the 23-yard line.
And what we saw on that first drive was just Seahawks fumble on the opening kickoff. You just get a huge momentum swing. You're starting off the game hot in enemy territory, and you just get ahead of yourself. You get the jitters. You're ready to come out here and play, and you just can't execute the simple things because you got a lot going on in your head. You got momentum going on. You got the play call going on. You got the fans screaming at you. There's a lot going on for a first play from scrimmage, and you just couldn't make it work.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Takes the snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox tries to find a lane. He'll plow forward with his offensive line to get a gain of 6. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 4. And I was about to say before that play was run, just hand it off, let Fox get some momentum. Don't try to do anything fancy and potentially have another turnover. And I think that's what we'll see on this drive is them just hand it off to Fox, let him do his business. Don't try any speed options or anything like that.
You're exactly right. I'd be surprised if we see anything other than a handoff.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Snap. Hands it off to Fox again. Fox tries to find a lane, but nowhere to go. He is able to fall forward for a gain of 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
Already facing a 3rd down, and this is a big one. You're backed up in your own territory. You need to get up beyond these chains. You need to get a 1st down. Seahawks went down and scored on what was their first offensive drive from scrimmage, and you want to match that score. And we mentioned you do not want to let your opponent get out in front of you. The Seahawks have done just that. How are you going to respond?
The good thing, though, is that they held them to a field goal. So it's not like they scored a touchdown, and now you have to answer that touchdown.
That's
you
exactly
score
right.
here, you take the lead. They'll pass it on 3rd and 2, trying to get it to Hayden Souls, but it is incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
And we know anything about this offense and the way this team is coached, they're going. There's no...
Are you even this far in your own territory?
I think if you're trusting your guys, you hand this ball off to Jaron Fox, you let him get 2 yards.
Well, you're absolutely right. They do hand it off to Fox. Fox gets 2 yards and a few more. Getting taken down at the 41-yard line. That's enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest 1st down. And you were absolutely right. Mark Morris having faith in this offense, even back deep in their own territory, getting the 1st down on the 4th and short. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Snap. Read option. Keeping it himself is Mullen, and he'll get taken down after a gain of 2. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. T.J. Brown with the tackle.
Right now, I think we're just going to see the Panthers go straight back to the run, go straight back upfield. Fox, you need to get 2. You put it in the hands of your star back. You trust him to go get yards, and he goes out, and he gets you plenty. He gets you 5. You needed 2. Take the 3 extra as well. Now we're just going to see Jaron Fox on the ground. Mullen kept it on the 1st. Now you got to expect it's going right back to Fox on the 2nd.
They'll go 2 running back set, both Fox and Livingston on either side of Mullen. He'll hand it off to Livingston. Livingston will try to use his power, but will only get a gain of about 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 4, excuse me.
3rd and medium is a very awkward position for this offense. Because you think about running the ball, you can run the ball from 3rd and 4. You think about passing the ball from 3rd and 4. We saw them pass on the last 3rd down. I imagine this ball is going to Jaron Fox on the ground.
They'll actually pass it, 3-step drop, throws it to the far side to Souls. He'll make the catch along the sideline, get pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line. That'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest 1st down.
And they tried to hit him on the last 3rd down.
Yeah, I've noticed they've used the pass on 3rd down, both opportunities they've had thus far on this drive.
That's exactly right. They love their 3rd down guy in Hayden Souls. Very sure hands and a very sure security of the ball when you get it to that guy.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side, hands off to Fox. Fox tries to bounce out to the outside, but gets taken down after a gain of about 1. Didn't really have anywhere to go on that one. Was lucky to just get it back essentially to the line of scrimmage, just getting 1 yard. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's right. And for the Panthers offense, this drive, you obviously want to secure points. You want to either tie it up. You want to take the lead. But getting past midfield and just knowing that you are able to move the ball to start off this game, especially on your first drive, where you get a couple plays in at least, that's a win for the Panthers.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on the other side, passes to the far sideline, and it's caught. Caught by Frazier along the sideline, and he's able to get it into the end zone for the touchdown. What a throw by Patrick Mullen for a huge touchdown for the Panthers early on in this one.
That's right. That is a huge touchdown like you just mentioned. You find your speed receiver, Raheem Frazier. You trust him to outrun that DB on the sideline. He does just that. Patrick Mullen places a beautiful ball out there, lands right in the breadbasket on the run for Raheem Frazier, and he just runs into the end zone. Huge response by the Panthers, really setting the tone for this offense and letting them know, hey, you want to put points on the board early? We're going right back at you, trading blows.
The extra point is up and good, and with 4.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter, the Panthers get their first lead of the evening. It is 7-3. Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market, and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Welcome back as we are set for the Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside kickoff after the Panthers took their first lead of the evening with a beautiful ball from Mullen to Raheem Frazier on the far side sideline for a touchdown. And if they can match Myrtle Beach's balance with some balance of their own like they have thus far, this is going to be a very, very fun game the rest of the way.
That's exactly right. We mentioned it pregame, just offenses going firing back and forth, an offensive shootout, the most exciting type of football game, obviously, for fans, for everyone. Maybe not head coaches, get their blood pressure up a little bit.
Really.
Very scary.
Definitely not the best type of game for a defensive coordinator.
That's exactly right. Raising some blood pressure on both sidelines there when you play offensive shootouts like that. But it's definitely, without a doubt, the most entertaining type of football game. And that was one of Patrick Mullen's finest throws on the season.
I think that was his best placed ball of the season.
That's exactly right. And talk to him pregame. Just like everybody else at this game, everyone else in the county, knowing the implications, knowing how big of a matchup this is, he is so excited to get back on that field. And he proved it right there. He placed a beautiful ball, allowing Raheem Frazier to get into the end zone there. And this offense is pumped up to start off after that failed first drive from scrimmage, failed first play from scrimmage. A beautiful way to bounce back from that.
Yeah, perfect way to bounce back from the turnover on their first offensive play of the drive, being able to recover from that, get a fourth down conversion too, and just a great offensive drive for the Panthers as the kick by Jan is up, fielded at the 25-yard line, trying to get around the edge, still on his feet, going to the near side and getting taken down at the 50-yard line. What a great return. What a great return by John Simmons on that one. And, yeah, no one, he almost took it all the way back.
That's right. You talk about an athlete, talk about a guy that can really play. He's just an overall athlete. He's a freak of nature. Sure, he's very tall in that receiving game, but he just showed it off. You get him the ball in that return game as well, and he is a dangerous, dangerous man.
Empty backfield for Myrtle Beach. Snap. Screen pass is caught. Still on his feet and trying to push forward is Cohen. And he'll get a gain of, they'll say he got 4. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
So we talked about both offenses being able to go down the field and score. Seahawks with the field goal, Panthers responding with the touchdown. Now, what is that like for the Seahawks having to respond?
Shotgun set 2 wide on either side. They'll hand it off. Cohen tried to bounce it to the outside, but a good job by the Panthers staying with him and forcing a loss of a couple. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, they tried to just run a little misdirection there in the backfield, and Jalen Weinglass read that all the way, made a beautiful play coming off the edge and just sealing the edge, ultimately making the tackle, not allowing that one to go anywhere.
So that'll bring up a big third down early on in this game. 3rd and 7. Play action pass. Lofts it into the air. It is caught by Cohen, and he'll get the first down. Gets taken down at the 32-yard line.
And that is a big play by Seahawks quarterback Gibson Goodrow to stand in the pocket. A free rusher charging at him. He stands tall in the backfield, delivers a great dump off for the first down.
Lofts it over the defense's head to Cohen, who was covered a little bit, but he was just open enough to be able to make the catch and get the first down.
That's exactly right.
Snap. 3-step drop, looking down the middle of the field, and it's lofted just over the head of Simmons. That was a good little good little lob ball by Goodrow, but just a little over the head of Simmons. Tried to touch past it.
And we expected going into games like Huff and Irma for those to be big air raid games. Myrtle Beach is coming out, and they are firing this ball to start off. They are not keeping it on the ground for long periods of times. They're going straight at their big guys, straight through the air. They want to get something going, and they want to get it going fast through the air.
And they're going to do one of those weird plays, and Goodrow keeps it himself and gets it up to the 25-yard line. There were like 4 players over on the near side, and then everyone else was pushed over. One of those very odd formations that you see in high school and college every now and again.
You want to talk about throwing off a defense and confusing them? Throw your big guys out near the sideline and see what the Panthers have to say to respond to that.
They'll go heavy set this time. Goodrow keeps it himself. He's got a lane. He's still on his feet and finally gets taken down at the 5-yard line. That's actually Antonio Brown, a little wildcat for the Seahawks, and he's able to get the first down and more before getting taken down at the 5-yard line. A little trickeration, too, by the Seahawks on multiple fronts. They're throwing the kitchen sink at the Panthers to start this game off.
And on top of the trickeration, that just comes from running those pass plays, lulling them to sleep through the air.
Another Wildcat, this time going heavy, trying to bounce it to the outside, and Antonio Brown dives to the goal line, and they will say he did get the ball over the goal line for a touchdown.
And that near the goal line right there is amazing flexibility to be able. You have a defender on your back. You know you're nearing the goal line to just be able to stick that ball out and get it over the goal line before any part of your body touches the ground. That's just amazing flexibility and a great way to keep that play alive.
So the Seahawks answer back with a touchdown of their own. The extra point is up and good. And with 1:45 left to go in the first quarter, it is 10-7. Seahawks in the lead. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
So, what's the score going to be on this game when it's all said and done?
A lot to a lot.
A lot to a lot.
A lot to a lot.
As the kick is up and the Panthers will just let it sail into the end zone for a touchback, and the Panthers will start on offense at the 20.
This right here is going to be a game of mentality, a game of grit, and a game of being able to take punches and respond.
This is a game where it could come down to who has the ball last.
That's exactly right.
Panthers on offense once again trying to answer right back after the Seahawks scored their first touchdown of the evening on their last drive. 10-7 with 1:45 left to go in the first quarter. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox tries to bounce through a hole, drags a couple of defenders up for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 3.
And that's just another thing that makes Fox such a great explosive back is the ability to break off that first tackle. No matter who fits up, who touches him off that first tackle, he's not going down. He drags defenders, and he just extends plays and gets yards that he should not be seeing off looks.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Mullen motions over into the H-back position. Snap, hands off to Fox. Fox finds the lane, and he thought he almost had it going, had one man to beat, but that one man was able to take him down at the 39-yard line, but not before Fox gets a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And it's runs like those that, as a Panthers fan, you get excited. As soon as you see Fox start to hit his top speed, start to accelerate a little more than usual.
As soon as he gets to the second level, you're thinking 6.
That's exactly right. You're thinking he's taking that to the house. Such an explosive back. And when he hits that top speed, there's no telling how fast he's going.
Snap, hands it off to Fox again. This time he gets through. This time he's gone. 40, 30, has one man to beat, and he is able to push him out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 26-yard line. Again, this close to taking it to the house, but again, the final line of defense for the Seahawks is able to contain him. But again, another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down for Fox.
Just when we start to talk about it, just when we start to call his number, he's responding. He hears us. I'm certain he has an earpiece down there on the field.
As Patrick Mullen had to keep it, and he got plowed down for a loss of 4 on a read option that was basically blown up right from the start. As soon as, I don't even know if he was supposed to hand it off or if that was a read option, but the Seahawks defense was right there in the backfield before he even had a chance to make a read.
That's exactly right.
And that will end the first quarter. 10-7. Myrtle Beach leads it after 1. We'll take a quick break and come right back with the second quarter here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Second quarter about to get underway here in Myrtle Beach with the Seahawks leading the Panthers 10-7. And so at this point, I would think it's safe to assume that the jitters are gone for the most part.
That's right. We saw the nerves come out in the first couple of drives. We saw some mistakes from both teams on either end to start off this matchup, and now it's just been air raid for the Seahawks, getting down the field, passing the ball, just dicing up the secondary. And now for the Panthers, the exact opposite, Jaron Fox on the ground. Who could have imagined that? And now we're all the way into Seahawks territory, looking to respond once again and take the lead, hopefully barring a touchdown. I would say this game has been delivering up to this point.
Oh, yeah. This game has definitely delivered. Ball on the 30-yard line for the Panthers. And with it being a TV game, got a little bit of a longer delay between quarters with the TV broadcast going to commercial. And now we are ready to get the second quarter underway. 2nd and 12, ball on the 30-yard line. Panthers will go 2 running back set, 1 on either side of Mullen, with 2 wide on the far side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Livingston. Livingston tries to find a hole, but nowhere to go as a flock of Seahawks push him down after a gain of 2. Well, they'll say 1, so it'll be a 3rd and 12. Or 3rd and 11, excuse me.
And the Panthers, another 3rd down right back near the original line of scrimmage. They've gone to their target, reliable, trusty man in Hayden Souls on 3rd down, reluctantly to start off this game. I have to believe we're seeing this ball go right back through the air for the Panthers.
Yeah, they've been using the air game a lot in this game on 3rd down thus far. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They will go to the air on a read option, and Frazier falls as that ball is thrown towards him. The Panther fans wanted a penalty, but it does not look like there's a flag. Oh, yeah, I take that back. Looks like there might be a flag on the field.
That's right.
This may be a pass interference on Myrtle Beach.
I think that back judge saw it. Seahawks fans don't like it. Collided at the top of the route. He was looking to run a little corner route towards that near pylon. Just got tangled up. It's going to be a call either way for the refs. They're going to discuss it and just talk it over. This one could go either way. And this is a big call here on 3rd and long with the Panthers trying to respond.
Because if it's a pass interference on Myrtle Beach, which it is, that will give the Panthers a 1st down, and the Myrtle Beach fans are none too pleased on that call.
They do not like it, but I believe they got that call right.
Because it looked like he got tripped up somehow. Because he was by the time right as Mullen threw the ball, he was on the ground.
That's right. Running a corner route with the DB coming down and trying to interfere you at the top of your route, there's often a lot of hand fighting going on, often a lot of grabbing, and the DB probably just did a little too much at time and caused too much at the top of the route, not being able to allow it to develop.
Snapped, hands it off to Fox, and he'll get tripped up after a gain of 4. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Panthers.
And you mentioned pregame, Fox creeping up on 1,000 yards for the season, needs 107. He's currently at 70. Just 37 more yards for Fox to eclipse that impressive mark.
And still with 2 games left on the schedule.
Oh, is there? That's just an impressive season for Fox so far.
He may hit 1,500, depending upon how he does over the next couple of weeks, as they will hand it off to Fox again. He'll plow through the line to get right up against the 1st down marker. They're going to say he's just a few inches short. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 from the 5-yard line.
And we've seen this run game get churning to start off. No surprise there.
Fox again, this time trying to use his power to get through the line. Had to shed off a couple of tackles. And he'll just get enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina. Oh no, they're gonna say he just got back to the line. I thought they were gonna mark him at the 4-yard line with just enough for the 1st down, but they'll say he got stopped at the line to gain, and so it'll be a 4th and 1, and the Panthers are gonna go for it.
And this is coming down to inches. You're 4th and inches at the Seahawks 5-yard line. You want to talk about a big play in a game that you need to respond?
They need the card.
That's right.
The
they need to
flip
go out.
Card.
We'll see here. They might actually bring it out. Unless the Panthers want to just take a timeout and look this one over.
Yeah, the Panthers are going to call a timeout to think this over with 9.5 minutes left to go in the 1st half. And if you're Mark Morris, you know, I mean, it's still early on in this game. Do you just take the points and take the tie, or do you go for it here?
I think with the way that this Seahawks offense is playing and the way that you know if you give them the ball right back and you tie it up 10-10, they're aiming to go right down the field using that pass game, using their balanced offense and make it 17-10, and they're all but capable of doing that. So if I'm Mark Morris here, I'm trusting a guy, Jaron Fox, who you needed to get 3 earlier in the game, and he went up and got 5. I'm trusting a Chris Livingston, a guy who's built for moments like this, a power back, just needing to pick up a yard or 2. I'm putting a dual back set giving that ball to Chris Livingston, letting him get up and get that yard, and knowing Chris Livingston in that offensive line, they might that to the 2, the 1, they might push that ball into the end zone.
Yeah.
I'm giving Chris Livingston the ball, and I'm giving him an opportunity to make a play.
So we'll have to wait to see what the official call is by Mark Morris coming up. There have been a couple of these big plays early on in this game. I mean, we're not even halfway through the second quarter, and already this game, there have been some memorable moments.
This game is testing grit. It's testing determination. It's testing who wants it more. It's testing a lot of things on this front, and it's really going to come down to who executes and who can make these big plays, who makes the right decisions, and this right here is a big play.
The offense will come back out onto the field, so they're going to go for it on 4th and inches. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Mullen looking over to the sideline for a play call. Taking his time, getting the play call into the lineman.
All right, Seahawks, let's make some noise.
Mullen motions over to the near side. Takes the snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox gets the first down and more before getting stood up at the 2-yard line. Looked like Fox might have been able to push his way into the end zone, but he gets stood up just a couple of yards short of the end zone. But that will be a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers.
We talked about the big decision. It pays off. Now you're 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. You're looking a touchdown down the barrel right now. You punch it in. You take the lead. You respond to a big Seahawks touchdown earlier in the quarter. This is a back-to-back explosive quick-fire game.
And on 1st down, Fox gets stood up by a flock of Seahawks. And he will not get any. Actually, they're going to. Nope, they'll say he just got back to the line of scrimmage. And they'll bring up a 2nd and goal once again from the 3.
2nd and goal from the 3.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox tries to plow his way in, and he's in. Oh no, they're gonna say he was taken down just short. I thought he was behind. I thought he was staying behind those offensive linemen, and he was able to get in. But they're gonna say he's taken down. They're gonna say he's taken down at the 2-yard line, and that will bring up a 3rd and goal for the Panthers.
The Seahawks defensive line is not letting up any runs. They are not letting Fox find a hole. They are fitting up and closing every gap.
This is the moment I would expect to see Livingston use that power, but he's not out there. Fox is still out there. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Snap, they'll go speed option, and Mullen loses it. The ball is on the ground, and he is able to recover it, but that'll bring up a 4th and goal from the 5. What a huge goal line stand for Myrtle Beach.
That's exactly right. Their D-line knows exactly what they have to do. They know they're looking for the run. They know they want to get it to Fox. They fit up, match up on him, close every single gap. They don't give him a lane to run, and they just don't give him anywhere to go in the backfield, and they are shutting off that end zone right now.
And this time the Panthers will decide to kick it. Keon Jan comes out to put it up, and he puts it through. And we are all tied up once again at 10. 10 apiece with 7 minutes left to go in the first half. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This game has been completely evenly matched. Both defenses have given up a touchdown. Both defenses have had a bend but don't break type drive. This game is going to be exciting right up to the wire.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one for sure. It's exciting to start off. It's going to be exciting through these two quarters, the second quarter, the third quarter, and it's going to be exciting through the finish. It's just a football game. As a fan, you love, but at the same time, as a fan, you hate.
Yes. And as a broadcaster, you both love and hate because your voice will probably be shot at on the next day.
That's exactly right. You got so much to look for. You got so much implications. You got so much big plays going on. It's just overall a fun environment, very fun game with huge implications nonetheless.
I know it's early. I know it's maybe a little too early to ask this question, but overtime, yes or no?
No, we got to win this game in regulation.
The kickoff is up and trying to get around the edge and getting taken down at the 30-yard line is Amari Brown. He almost was able to break a big one there, was able to get it all the way down to the 30-yard line on that Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group dockside kickoff. But good job by the Panther defense, at least containing it.
In an exciting game such as this, you cannot overlook these kickoffs.
No.
We saw it very first kickoff of the game. Seahawks fumble, Panthers take over in Seahawks range. Every single play, every single decision is going to make a huge implication in this game.
They'll go empty backfield, 3 wide on the far side, bunch deuces on the near side. Throws it to the near side. It's caught, pushed out of bounds. Is number 10, and a little extracurriculars along the sideline after that pass right there.
And we talked about them not having as friendly as a matchup, and we're seeing it down on the field. We're also seeing Gibson Goodrow. He's impressing me right now. He's going through his progressions. His original gets shut off by Ethan Gardner playing a good shallow defensive zone. Goes to his second progression and hits his tight end.
Hands it off, but a good job by the Panther defense getting into the backfield and taking Antonio Brown down for a loss. So that'll be a loss of 3. It'll be a 2nd and 13. That last pass was caught by Ashton Keith.
Very good receiver linebacker right there playing both sides of the ball for the Seahawks.
2nd and 14. Snap. 3-step drop. A clean pocket. Plenty of space, but now great job. Great coverage sack by the Panthers. And that is number 35, Darius Huggins, getting the sack, but there is a flag on the play.
I mean, like you mentioned, that Panthers defense fit up. They saw the weakness, the vulnerability in the backfield there of Gibson Goodrow. They play up, they get the pressure through the O-line, and they just give him nothing to work with.
I mean, but it was more of a coverage sack because at first it was a clean pocket, and he had plenty of time to find someone, but the secondary just did a great job staying on their men and giving the defensive front the opportunity to finally get into the backfield for that sack.
That's exactly right, and that penalty flag was holding on the Seahawks. So this one, for the Panthers, you're driving them back 3rd and very long in their own territory.
You'd have to imagine that penalty was declined. So it is 3rd down, snap, 3-step drop, looking down the field, still pressure, and tipped off the hands. A good job by the Panthers once again, forcing an incomplete pass. And that'll bring up 4th down, a big defensive stop for Carolina Forest here in the second quarter.
That's exactly right. Not only did you go down the field and tie this game up, keep it close like we knew it was going to be, you go out the next drive on defense and you stall up a huge 4th and 20, 3 and out. You're starting to see some momentum shift your way on the road. We know these Seahawks fans, not super packed, but they're here. They're here and they're loud. They're making an impact on the game. Panthers just doing exactly what they need to down the stretch.
Punt is fair, caught, almost muffed at the 38-yard line, but Carson Quant able to fall on it, and the Panthers will start their drive on offense at the 37-yard line with just a little over 5 minutes left to go in the half. Panthers have the chance to take the lead once again and potentially take a lead into the half. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Play action pass. Mullen getting some pressure. Throws it up on a slant route, and it is caught. What a catch by Raheem Frazier on the slant route.
That is a huge catch. He goes up, man in his face. First of all, great job by Patrick Mullen to stand tall in that pocket and deliver that strike. Raheem Frazier goes up. That connection has been so good today already. Makes a big catch.
Snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox finds the lane. He's got one more man to beat. He's got a break. He breaks through a couple of guys and carries a couple of Seahawks into the red zone down at the 12-yard line.
And this is just a showing of this offense. You want to talk about the balance, the versatility, a huge pass over the middle to Raheem Frazier to start off the drive. You give it right back to your workhorse in Jaron Fox, and he carries guys all the way down inside the red zone. A huge 2 plays to start off this drive.
First a broken tackle that gives him more yards, and then literally carries 2 Seahawks on his back for an extra 5 yards to get the Panthers into the red zone. There is a penalty, however, so we're waiting to see what the call on that is. They're marching the ball back, and it's
Sideline warning against the Panthers.
It's going to be a sideline warning on the Panthers. I guess the sideline getting a little too excited on that Jaron Fox carry. But I'm not sure why they're marching back. But they're moving the ball back to the 31. And more whistles are being blown. And, I mean, we talked about it during the pregame. This isn't a technical rivalry, but you mentioned it. A lot of these guys have played against each other over the years in, Pop Warner and, middle school and all of that. There's some bad blood here.
That's right. That's right. These guys are competitors on both sides of the ball. They're going to come out here, and no matter what this matchup is, no matter who they're playing, they're coming out hot, and they're flying around, and there is not a lot of friendly blood on this field.
They moved the ball back to the 32-yard line. Not sure exactly why, but either way, it's still a first down. They'll hand it off to Fox. Fox finds a lane, tries to get it around the corner before getting pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, and Jaron Fox is quickly heating up.
And I actually think that's the other impressive junior, Caden Cole, there in that slot, running a little end-around jet sweep there. So not only do you have Jaron Fox, a very impressive junior in the run game, you also have that impressive slot receiver in Caden Cole who's able to make up big runs too.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Fox. Fox tries to find a lane, nowhere to go, but he is able to push forward for a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7. How many yards is Jaron Fox up to at this point?
Jaron Fox is currently up to 78 rush yards.
So he still needs about 30 more, actually exactly 30 more yards before he gets to 1,000.
Second down and 6.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Tight end and H-back move from far side to near side. Snap. The fake end around, lofts it into the end zone, and falling.
Passes incomplete.
No flag, as they were trying to get it to Frazier once again, and this time he just could not keep his balance in the end zone. And that'll bring up Actually, that was Quavon Ward that they were going for on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
And that's a shame. That was a beautiful play. You just burned him on the end around with Caden Cole. You faked the end around, hit a little go ball in the back of the end zone, and that should have been 6.
Snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox tries to find a lane. He'll push forward. It looks like he has enough for the first down, and he does. Gets it down to the 9. That'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And Jaron Fox, he is heating up. 87 yards now, and they're pushing this thing deeper and deeper into the red zone. They're looking to take a commanding 17-10 lead here. They want another touchdown here on the board. They weren't able to convert into a touchdown last red zone trip. They're trying to make it 7.
Hands it off to Fox again, and he plows forward just a few yards short of the end zone. Gets marked down at the 2. So that'll bring up a 2nd and goal from the 2. Like you mentioned, have to see if the Panthers can figure out how to put the ball in the end zone from goal to go situation this time, where it stood up on their last drive. Hands off to Fox. Fox tries to bounce it inside, and he is in. Gets it over the end line, and it is a touchdown for the Panthers.
A huge touchdown. You hold them to a 3-and-out after tying this game up, and now you're taking a 7-point lead, and that's big. You need the lead. You need the momentum. You need to show that you can push this ball vertical. You can do it through the air. Could have had another beautiful passing touchdown in the back corner of the end zone. You can move it on the ground with Jaron Fox, who is quickly approaching his mark of 1,000 on the season. And now, like you mentioned, they take a 17-10 lead. Not to mention you deferred to start off this game.
Now the only thing, and now the fact that they deferred and thus they get the ball back to start the second half, as there is a flag on the field for the extra point. The only thing that, and obviously you can't really control if you're moving the ball as well as the Panthers have been moving it. You can't really control this all that much, but there's still 2:49 left on the clock.
That's right.
With how dynamic the Seahawks offense is, there's certainly plenty of time for them to score before the half is over.
That's right. You have the Seahawks offense, like you mentioned, very dynamic. They can push that ball fast. But coming off a 3-and-out, this Panthers defense is looking to have a lot of confidence in the way that they play, a lot of momentum on their end, and they want to go out there. They want to force another 3-and-out. You mentioned the time. You force another one of those and give the Panthers the ball.
You might have a chance to extend the lead even further.
Exactly.
So it is a dual-edged sword. You are correct there, as John puts it up and in. And like I mentioned, with 2:49 left to go in the half, 17-10 Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panthers football action.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market, and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Big drive to end the first half here in Myrtle Beach. And this, like you said, the Panthers, this could go one of two ways. Either Myrtle Beach ties it up again, but the Panthers get the ball back, or if the defense is able to get another 3-and-out, who knows? Panthers may get it up by 14 at the half, and then they get the ball back to start the second half, which could put this one completely out of reach, as it will be kicked out of bounds. Ball goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
But yeah, you're exactly right. That's what makes these games so exciting. We know with these offensive battles, you got CF going down, scoring touchdowns. You got the Seahawks coming down the field and answering with their dynamic offense. It's, you don't know what's coming next. We saw it. You want to say we saw it from the start of the game. The opening kickoff was fumbled. And then you turn around, whoa, Panthers have so much momentum. Their first play from scrimmage was fumbled.
Gets fumbled, yeah. It's been a back and forth momentum game thus far. They'll hand it off, trying to bounce it around the edge, but getting taken down after a gain of 2 is Cohen. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
It's just one of these games where you cannot get comfortable, you cannot let up, and you know that no matter what you do, you have a coach, a player, whatever on the opposing sideline that's ready to match up. They're ready to go, and it's just going to be a back-and-forth matchup all night.
Play action pass, throwing it, and it is completed. Simmons with the catch on the post route, and that'll give the Seahawks another first down. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Play action pass, looking down the middle of the field. Now having to roll out, throwing it on the run, and it will be caught by Simmons yet again at the 38-yard line. And that'll be a yard short of the first down marker, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 1. A great job by Goodrow getting out of that pressure.
And when you have a receiver that is the height of John Simmons, he should not be able to get to the ground that fast and scoop a ball that looks like it's heading towards the ground. That is a very impressive, a very heads-up play there, and John Simmons just made a huge play to go get that grab.
This time Goodrow decides to take it down and run it himself, feeling the pressure, and gets the first down for the Seahawks before getting taken down at the 33-yard line. But yeah, you mentioned Simmons' height, 6'4". That's a tall receiver for high school. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side, 3-step drop, lofting it into the end zone, and it is incomplete.
And you mentioned that's a tall height for high school. He was that tall in 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
He was, yeah. He can only imagine little 5'2" me at point guard trying to guard him in basketball.
Or in football. You
That's
played
right.
DB. So.
I did play. I actually was matched up on him in football, too.
So
Both of those sports, a little bit of a mismatch.
just a little bit. Great defense by Carson Quant there on Simmons on that post route attempt, avoiding the touchdown pass. Looks like there might be a flag on the play.
This one, some discussion for sure. But you know what they say when I was guarding John? It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight and the dog. That's exactly right.
Getting picks on him?
No,
I didn't think so.
Send your parents, if you haven't done so already, please make your way to the track at the north end of the stadium.
And it's an illegal man downfield for Myrtle Beach, so a lucky break for the Panthers, as that will push the Seahawks back to the 38-yard line.
I came close, if you want to believe that.
Define close.
Close could be a little bit of a stretch.
I was just going to say.
There's probably a better synonym out there. There's probably a better one.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. They'll run the sweep, handing it off to Cohen, and he'll get stood up at the 35-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 12 for Myrtle Beach. And at this point, even if the Panthers are able to hold Myrtle Beach to no points on this drive, probably not enough time for an offensive drive, unless we see a Jaren Fox break a big one.
That's exactly right. Not only have they done a great job of getting downfield on this drive, they've done a great job at taking their time doing it and making sure, like you mentioned, if something doesn't go their way, if they slip up, the Panthers don't have a ton of time to go down and extend that lead, barring getting the ball back to start the second half as well.
Yes, which is a big thing anyway, but
exactly.
1:14 left to go in the half, and I believe Myrtle Beach called a timeout.
And if you're the Panthers, you obviously you're trying to get them off the field. You do not want any points on the board for the Seahawks. But if they do score and tie this game up, you have the comfort in knowing you still have a little bit of an edge starting off the second half with the ball.
I'm now just imagining little Brogan up against Simmons. It would be like Nate Robinson going up against Dwight Howard.
It was something. It was something.
As that ball is thrown away, incomplete.
Was it fun?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I would say it was fun. It was fun, yes. But for my next one, was it successful?
No.
There you go. There you go.
Third down for the Seahawks.
Minute 9 left to go in the half.
He's one of those guys responsible for putting me up in the booth.
Yes.
We can put it that way. Just reliving some basketball trauma over here.
Oh, especially in basketball, it's definitely a Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson situation. Empty backfield, thrown, and Simmons. Oh, no, actually, that will be number 10. He's able to break a tackle, bounces it to the outside before getting taken down at the 3-yard line. What a great catch by Ashton Keith. And he'll get Myrtle Beach a first down and more before getting taken down at the 3-yard line.
And right there, he showed why he plays both sides of the ball. He shows that physicality. Safety comes down, hits him straight on, head-on collision. He bounces right off that hit, misdirects, takes up the left sideline, gets down to the 3, almost puts it in the end zone. That just comes from physicality of being a linebacker.
Ball is handed off to Antonio Brown, and the Seahawks tried to do a little rugby scrum / tush push on Brown, trying to get him into the end zone, but he will be stood up at the 2-yard line, and Myrtle Beach will call it their second timeout of the half with 46.2 seconds left to go in the half.
And now we're thinking, the way the Seahawks D-line on the other side of the field, they stayed strong when they forced the Panthers to only 3 to tie that game up. Here's an opportunity for the Panthers defense, who's so far, exactly, who's looked decent at times, looked pretty good at times, to show them, hey, we're coming out here. We're also going to make a big goal line stand. We're also going to make some stops. We're also going to show you we have some guys on this D-line capable of making big plays and big moments. And right here is your golden opportunity. Do not let them tie this game up going into half. Make a stop. Make a statement.
As this game has progressed, now almost at halftime, I guess some fans were a little fashionably late because now it definitely has filled up a good bit more. Still not a complete sellout or anything, but it's still a decent crowd here at Doug Shaw as Antonio Brown is able to finagle his way into the end zone. Looked like the Panthers had him covered, but he's just able to find a small seam to get through into the end zone for the touchdown, and presumably that will tie this game back up. And barring something crazy happening with 39.9 seconds left to go in the half, looks like this game will be going into the locker room all tied up at 17. The extra point is up and good.
And we're all even.
Yeah.
Talk about the huge region matchup. We've been talking about it since the first game of the season.
So
it's delivering. All tied up.
Oh, absolutely. So I know we've talked about this before in similar situations, but especially in this game, with how this game is going, I believe the Panthers still have 2 timeouts left. If you're Mark Morris, do you try to do something here with 39 seconds left?
I'm going to say, just for the concern of the first play from scrimmage for the Panthers, trying to run. Granted, that was a little direction, a little screen. I believe you just take your knee, you take this one to the half. You're guaranteed the ball to start off the second half. You do not want any misfortune going your way. You do not want the Seahawks to even have a breathing chance to make a play going into the half. I take the knee, I put the ball on the ground, and I let this game go into the half.
Javier Higgins on the return, and he'll get taken down at the 25-yard line. Make it the 24-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will start on offense. And yeah, it looks like they're gonna set up in the victory formation and just take the knee and bring us to the end of the first half. So after one, this game living up to the hype, all tied up at 17 apiece. with the last few seconds coming off of the clock. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are officially at halftime now with the game all tied up at 17 apiece. We'll take a quick break, come right back with some first half stats and analysis, get you ready for the second half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of the switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch it safe with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee right here in Carolina Forest can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market, especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
We are at halftime here at Doug Shaw Stadium with the Panthers and Seahawks all squared up at 17 apiece. And like we talked about going into the break, this game absolutely has lived up to the hype.
Oh, absolutely. For the Panthers, and then from there it's just been response after response, either side going back and forth, going at it, leading us to here, 17-17 at the half. And this game is one that I feel is going to go down in dramatic fashion.
Absolutely. Do we have some first half stats?
We do have some first half stats. Jaron Fox, not quite at 100, just under the mark at 93 rush yards. The big thing to look out for, obviously the 1K mark.
Let me stop you there. We might have missed something because according to Ian Guerin, he's up to 118.
He's up to 100.
So I'm not sure where he's getting those extra yards, but if that's the case, he has eclipsed 1,000 now.
That's true.
So
he might have gave him those yards on that penalty on the run that got called back. That big run that he had that got called back.
That might be true. That might be the case. But, yeah, according to Ian Guerin, Jaron Fox, 15 rushes, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Caden Cole has 1 rush for 13 yards, that end around. For Myrtle Beach, Antonio Brown, 6 carries for 32 yards and 2 touchdowns. Goodrow, 4 carries for 14 yards. On the passing front, Patrick Mullen, 3 for 6 for 72 yards and a touchdown. Goodrow, 7 of 11 for 115 yards, or 105 yards, excuse me. And in terms of receiving, Raheem Frazier, 2 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Keith from Myrtle Beach, has 2 receptions for 41 yards. J.J. Brown, 1 reception for 26 yards. And John Simmons, 2 receptions for 20 yards. Kind of surprising, Simmons was getting a lot of targets, but only has 20 receiving yards.
That's right. They were looking for him right out the gate. 2 back-to-back go balls, just trying to get their big man going. And they just weren't able to find him. We saw the obvious pass interference on the first pass going downfield. Then going right back to him right after that. That one sails incomplete. They've been targeting him. They just have not been able to land it.
And even Ian said in his tweet for the halftime, he said, "We've been talking about these two playing for a would-be region title since realignment was finalized, and this one has lived up to the billing."
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. And we talked about how evenly matched these teams have been in the first half. Penalties. 2 penalties for the Panthers for 20 yards, 3 for Myrtle Beach for 28 yards. Each team has had 9 first downs, and each team obviously 1 turnover on a fumble apiece. Talk about even.
They have been matching up very, very well.
It has been that, quintessential blow-for-blow type of matchup. Speaking of the region and the region title, we'll go around the region real quick. You have a score for us for North Myrtle Beach against St. James.
I do, and this one is going just as we expected it. 24-0 North Myrtle is up. 5:23 remaining till the half. So there's still time there in that first half. Chiefs are up 24-0.
Yep. Socastee Conway.
Socastee Conway. We do have one for Socastee Conway. With 10:14 left in the second quarter, Socastee 7-0 over Conway.
Okay. Now that game is basically those two teams fighting for who will probably be 4th.
That's right.
That game will probably be the determinant of who will get the number 4 spot in the region, because this is a tale of 2 halves of the region. Myrtle Beach, Carolina Forest, and North Myrtle all 2-0. More than likely, obviously one of those 3 teams will win the region depending upon what happens here, what happens next week between North Myrtle and Myrtle, and then obviously on the last week between Carolina Forest and North Myrtle. And then Socastee Conway and St. James all 0-2, trying to just get in the playoffs.
That's exactly right. And for some morale, refresh the page. St. James gets on the board, 24-6 there. Sharks show some life against North Myrtle in that matchup.
But, like we talked about during the pregame, imagine if North Myrtle Beach beats Myrtle Beach next week here, and then, or actually I take that back, that's at the Hank. But still, imagine if they beat Myrtle Beach and then Carolina Forest versus North Myrtle is literally for the region.
It would just be perfect.
Essentially it would be anyway, because as long as North Myrtle Beach wins tonight, if they were able to beat Carolina Forest, they would have the tiebreaker.
That's exactly right.
So either way, that last week matchup will be for the region championship.
So North Myrtle, 2-4 on the year, but they've made sure those 2 wins have come at the right time.
That's been the that's been the theme for Region 6 5A this season, has been, for whatever reason, whether it's because you scheduled a gauntlet like Carolina Forest, or you just had some early season struggles like North Myrtle, the three teams at the top did struggle for the most part during non-region play. Because even Myrtle Beach is only 4-3. They went 2-3 themselves in non-region play. Each of these teams went under 500 in non-region play.
That's right. And just like you mentioned, they love to schedule your tough matchups, the best of the best, either South Carolina, North Carolina,
Yep.
whoever you can schedule. You just want to get your team out there, match up against tough opponents, so when you do get into region, you sense a sort of ease. You're playing lower competition than you would out of the region,
Exactly.
sort of preparing yourself mentally, physically for these matchups.
Because looking at Myrtle Beach's schedule, they faced West Florence. That was a loss. They went to Sumter, which is always a tough place to play. That was their second loss. And then their third loss in non-region, as we talked about earlier, was against Ermo, who, we know how strong they are. So, yeah, both of these teams prepared themselves in the non-region play, scheduling some very tough competition in non-region play. Going next level, has been a powerhouse in the region in the area for a very long time, and as such, have a few guys going to the next level. From last year's squad, Brady Pickett is at the Citadel, and Dallas Dunn is on the surprise of the country this year in Navy. Both Army and Navy doing very well this season. The two Randall brothers are both at Clemson, Austin and Adam. Evan Jumper is at Coastal. Ryan Berger was at App State, now at Liberty. J.J. Jones, who, I'm sure Carolina Forest fans remember him when the last time these two teams faced off against each other. J.J. Jones at North Carolina. Dalton Epps at Presbyterian, as is Landing Sauls. Luke Doty, another name. Him and Mason Garcia were going back and forth to determine who was the top dog at the quarterback position that season. He's at South Carolina, as is Max Walters. Max Walters. Looking at this game now, and looking at the second half, what's it going to take for, whether it's Carolina Forest or Myrtle Beach, what is it going to take for one of these teams to start pulling away, or are we essentially destined for overtime?
I think it's a similar tale on both sides. What Myrtle Beach needs to do to stop Carolina Forest is they need to slow down their run game. They need to make them uncomfortable in the play calling, make them uncomfortable with this offense. You need to throw it off. You need to force them to pass the ball more in these long situations, an area we obviously know they don't want to have to resort to. We know Carolina Forest wants to keep the ball on the ground. For Myrtle Beach, it's all about limiting that run game. They know it. It's just a matter of execution and flipping the side of the ball. For Carolina Forest, they have to slow down Myrtle Beach's air raid offense, their pass game, because right now they're just moving the ball through the air. They're taking shots downfield. They are vertical threats. They are pushing the ball as much as plausible right now. Carolina Forest, that secondary, that linebacking core, they just need to fit up, need to slow down that air raid offense, and they need to slow down the complete control that Myrtle Beach is having with their balanced front.
Yeah. Thoughts, predictions? What are we expecting for the second half?
Usually you can sort of see a trend of a game. I'm sitting here throughout the whole game trying to piece some stuff together in my head. There's no trends to work on here.
Well, because, the crazy thing about we talked about it going into this one, that Myrtle Beach is a very balanced offense. But Carolina Forest, yeah, they've been more balanced this year than years in the past, but they've made some big plays in the passing game thus far in this one. And so it's not just all run. They've been passing it a little bit, so it's been a balanced front on both sides of the ball. And it's setting up for a very fun second half.
I think both teams are playing dead even in terms of execution, in terms of play calling, in terms of everything. And the scoreboard reflects that. 17-17 at the half. Granted, CF is starting the second half with the ball, which is amazing. Glad you defer to start off the game because now you sort of read out the situation. You know what you have to do to start off the second half.
And that puts them on the front foot because that allows them to get ahead. So even if it's a back and forth battle like it has been throughout the second half, if you get the ball to end the game, if you get the last possession, then you have the opportunity to win it instead of having to be on the back foot and trying to tie it.
That's exactly right. A situation like that puts you in the driver's seat, just like you mentioned. If you can go down and convert on your opening drive, you're out ahead, you're out of possession, and you're up advantage for the rest of the game. If you want to go down and be consistent scoring, be consistent expanding your lead, you're at the advantage. The game comes through you. Everything that the Seahawks are going to try to do, or vice versa, everything the Panthers are going to try to do, that goes through whoever's able to execute, take the lead out early, and sort of extend their lead, fluctuate it, and not give it up to the opponent.
So knowing Mark Morris and the way he coaches, the way he handles situations, what is he telling the team right now?
Right now he's telling the team it's 0-0. We're coming out here in the second half in a crowded Doug Shaw. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy coming down the stretch. These fans are here to see a great football game. They want these Seahawks to win the region. First time in this region, the beach region. Mm-hmm. Both sides want to be victorious. It's about execution. Who wants it more? We've been practicing all spring, all summer for a moment like this. This is why you play football. This is why you come out here. This is why you are a Panther. This is why you are part of the organization, to go out here, represent, make a play, do your job, win the Panthers a football game, in a huge one at that. A region, not guaranteed, but a driver's seat spot in this region barring a win. You need to go out here, play your best brand of football, focus on what you can control, and go out here and make a play and win the game.
And like we talked about earlier during the pregame show, if the Panthers are able to win, this would be the first time they beat Myrtle Beach since 2015, so almost a decade. Granted, they haven't played since 2019, but still, a big win for the Panthers, and obviously a lot for a number of reasons. This matchup has been pretty much dominated by Myrtle Beach for the majority of the time. But the one thing that I was very surprised at when I was looking at the history back of this rivalry, the first 3 seasons you would think it's a brand new school that the older school's just going to dominate. The Panthers beat Myrtle Beach the first 3 times that these two teams faced back in 98 through 2000, right when Carolina Forest opened. So that was something I was very surprised at when I saw that. But beyond that, for the most part, Myrtle Beach has just dominated this. But ever since, 2019 was probably the best year for Carolina Forest in program history. Jitters under control and not come out like you did in the first half? Or is that not even really a worry because you're already in the heat of battle?
No, you brought up a point that I was just about to mention, is I believe this second half is going to be a very emotional half. They're competing for something that is much, much bigger than them, and that is this region championship. Not guaranteed, but again, like we mentioned, a very good shot at winning that region.
I mean, here's the thing. If you win this game, your destiny is in your own hands.
That's exactly right. You control your path. And that is exactly why both of these teams want to be put in that position. They're going to come out here and they're going to play sheer and they're going to fly around. It's going to get intense. It's going to get heated. These guys need to know they're playing for each other. You have to keep your tempers down. You have to keep your emotions low. You have to keep your head on the field. You cannot get ahead of yourself. You cannot make any crucial errors. Self-inflicting penalties in a game like this are going to be what costs you. You have to keep your head level. You have to know where you are. You have to fill your assignment, and you have to execute. You cannot get ahead of yourself. You cannot let your guard down for 1 second, especially against a very, very talented Seahawks team. You have to just stay in the moment, keep your head level, stay on the field, and just know you're competing for each other. Go out there, be a family, be a unit, get yourself a big win.
We are just about set to get the second half underway. Real quick, before we get the second half underway, North Myrtle Beach continues their hot play against St. James. Landon Cloninger gets another touchdown on a QB sneak to push the lead up to 31-6. So, barring something crazy happening in that game, more than likely North Myrtle Beach will also stay perfect in the region, which further pushes that more than likely in a couple of weeks that game will be the official determination of who is the region champion, as the Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group dockside kickoff is up and goes out of the end zone for a touchback, and the Panthers will start their first drive of the second half from the 20-yard line. They'll go two running backs in the backfield to start off the second half, two wide on the far side. Both Fox and Livingston back there. Snap. Triple option. Pitches it out to Fox. Fox tries to get around the corner but gets taken down from behind after a gain of a couple. A good job by Noah Herring staying with the speedy Fox and being able to pull him down from behind after a gain of 4.
That's exactly right. He sat down. Looks like a little bit of cover 2, just watching the flats there. Reads it. You're taught to cut off that running back. Still able to fit it to Fox, get up for 4. But Noah Herring, a great play to just sort of sit down on that read option.
Shotgun set, two running backs set again. Two wide on the far side. Triple option again. Mullen pitches it out to Fox again. Fox tries to bounce it to the outside, but again, a good job by the Seahawk defense containing his speed and holding him for no gain.
And this here early, you're facing a third and medium, third and long here, about 3rd and 7. You need to get your best play call here. You do not want to go 3 and out. We talked about the importance of starting off the half with the ball. Just to go 3 and out, that would be a big momentum killer.
This time only Fox in the backfield with Mullen, two wide on the near side. Snap, one-step drop, looks near side, gets it to Soul on a slant route. He's got the first down and more before getting taken down at the 45-yard line. That'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. Good little slant route by Souls. Just got away from his defender enough for Mullen to just hit him on the easy slant route for the first down.
And we've been seeing that. Hayden Souls is the third down receiver. They trust him, very reliable, and he shows just why.
Mullen keeps it himself on the read option, but gets pushed out of bounds after for a loss of 2. Actually, nope, make it 2, yeah. It will be 2. And so that'll bring up a 2nd and 12 from the 47-yard line.
It was just a beautiful job there on third down to find Hayden Souls and keep this drive alive. That was a much-needed first down. You needed to move the chains.
Shotgun set, two wide on the far side. Motions Frazier over, hands it off to Fox. Fox finds a lane and gets taken down just short of the first down marker. It'll be at 3rd and 1.
And barring either stat, We know we got 2 different numbers for Jaron Fox in the rush game at halftime.
But either way, now he is definitely over 1,000.
He has eclipsed that mark. He is at 108 for tonight.
Third and 1. Ball on the 36-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hands off to Livingston. Livingston bounces it to the outside. Will get the first down and a tiny bit more. Gets taken down at the 34-yard line. That'll be just enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And the Panthers just coming out. They are moving the ball to start off this half. We know they had him back 3rd and long, and now the Panthers, barring a big play to Hayden Souls, their 3rd down receiver. He's been reliable. Now going right back to Fox. Chris in that run game, moving the ball downfield to start off.
Play action pass. Slant route is incomplete. Trying to get it to Raheem Frazier and just could not hang on to it. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
And he has been loving downfield Raheem Frazier tonight. He has been taking him any opportunity he is given.
2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Just a few minutes, about a little under 3 minutes off the clock here in the second half. They'll hand it off to Fox. Fox finds a hole. He'll get in more. Tries to carry a defender with him before getting pulled down from behind at the 19-yard line. And that'll be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And even when it seems like there is no hole, there is no gap, he hits top speed.
So close as they'll hand it off to Fox again. He'll get the first down and more before getting taken down at the 2-yard line. That'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And the Panthers are in goal-to-go territory once again. Panthers moving quickly. Hands it off to Fox again. And Fox will just plow his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that is exactly what you need. As soon as you got that first down with Hayden Souls, it was Fox's drive. He touched the ball every single play there on out. I mean, he broke out big plays, 15, 18, and then capping it off, a 2-yard touchdown run. He exactly able to get away from that last defender. But I do believe you, and I agree with you. I believe he's going to break a big one off tonight.
Keon Jan getting ready to kick the extra point. The extra point is up and good. And with 8:41 remaining in the third quarter, it is 24-17. Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of the switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee right here in Carolina Forest can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers lead by a touchdown here in the early stages of the second half.
And they did exactly what they needed to open up this second half. We talked about just the perks of getting the ball to start off the second half. They go down. They drop a beautiful drive. Jaron Fox just doing what he does best, finding holes, getting big chunk plays, moving the ball first down after first down, capitalizing with a touchdown, putting the Panthers right back in the driver's seat, up 24-17.
And I'm not sure, I didn't see an official signal, but they must have called something on Myrtle Beach, some sort of 5-yard penalty, because they've put the ball on the 45-yard line for the kickoff.
I believe there was something on the touchdown that they called. They allowed it. They said it would be enforced on the kickoff. So kicking up from the 45, not exactly sure what that call was.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was, but either way, a little pooch kick will be fielded at the 32-yard line, and that's where Myrtle Beach, make that the 33, that's where Myrtle Beach will start this first drive of the second half. And now, like we talked about during the halftime show, the Seahawks are on the back foot. They are the ones that are having to fight against the current in order to stay in this one, and the best they can do at this point is just tie the game back up. Empty backfield. Snap. Fake jet sweep. Keeping it himself, and Goodrow gets taken down for a loss of a couple. They'll actually say he just got a loss of one, was able to dive forward and get close to the original line of scrimmage, but a good job by the Panthers blowing up that fake jet sweep and forcing the loss.
And Darius Huggins has been all over that backfield. He had a big sack earlier in the game, now tack on a tackle for loss. He's just been flying around, not making it easy for Goodrow in the pocket, and he's been making this O-line think.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side, rolling out to his right. Looking, throwing it down the far near side of the field to a wide open receiver on the near side sideline. That's Tyree Cawthon, who makes the catch for the first down.
And the Panthers are just fortunate that he was not able to turn up and keep his balance on the sideline because there was not a defender.
Yeah, he was wide open. They were very lucky that that was thrown so close to the sideline and a little bit away from Cawthon to where his momentum took him out of bounds. A read option, Goodrow keeps it himself and is able to bounce through a couple of defenders to get a gain of 10.
11 yards.
So
They'll say he actually got 11. That's another first down for Myrtle Beach, taking it down to the 24-yard line.
And we talked about the Panthers being able to go and capitalize off getting the ball first. The Seahawks are responding right back, which has been the story of the game.
This time it's a handoff to Cohen, and he'll get taken down after a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 now.
And as the Seahawks near the red zone up.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Goodrow takes the snap, 3-step drop, looking down the middle of the field and launching it through the back of the end zone. Tried to get it out to J.J. Brown, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there we just see Ethan Gardner playing stride for stride with them all the way through the end zone. A man that has been playing great coverage at corner this season. He just looks, any receiver he's assigned on, he is always stride for stride. A very fast corner there in Ethan Gardner, and he's just not letting anything up on his side of the field tonight.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap. Goodrow, 5-step drop. Thought about a screen pass. Now he'll step up in the pocket and take it himself. He'll get taken down by a couple of Panthers, and the ball's on the ground. It's up for grabs, waiting on a call by an official, and the Panthers have it.
And that, we talk about bend don't break so much. We just mentioned that they are nearing the red zone. They need a big stand. You do not want to tie this game up, and the Panthers defense comes up big. Goodrow decides to take off, and he's going to pay the price for it. We know that's always a concern when quarterbacks take off to run, and the Panthers defense making a huge play, making it even more manageable for the Panthers to be in this driver's seat coming down the stretch.
And here's another thing that we talked about. Mistakes. That was going to be the key, is who can avoid the big mistake. And turnovers are the biggest mistakes you can make, and the Panthers just capitalized on one. 1st and 10, lofting it up into the air, trying to get it to Frazier, and it is just out of his reach. Trying to go for the big ball on the first play of this drive is Mullen, but just out of the reach of Raheem Frazier.
And we have been seeing that vertical offense from the Panthers really unveil itself tonight. We have seen the ball thrown vertically upfield more than we had this entire season.
Shotgun set, one wide on the other side. Hands it off to Fox. Fox finds the lane. He's got one man to beat. This could do it. This could be 40, 35, and he gets pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Again, just one man to beat for Jaron Fox, and the Seahawks are able to contain him before he has the house call. But another huge gain by Jaron Fox, and it's another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
Yeah, how about that one? Good for 54 yards. We were just talking about on break how we want to see Jaron Fox break one of those big ones tonight, and we almost, again, just get a glimpse at it. Not able to fully take it the distance, but pushing the Panthers deep into Seahawks territory nonetheless.
Another big game for the Panthers on the next play. This time, Chris Livingston getting the handoff, but there is a flag, so we'll have to wait to see what the call is.
In that big Jaron Fox rush, we mentioned how he, going into the game, needed 107. How about 196?
Yeah.
How does that works?
I think that'll do it.
Okay, I was just making sure if you wanted that. I didn't know if you want too much, you wanted too little.
Maybe he'll get over 250 tonight. I mean, with how this game is going, unless the Panthers completely blow out Myrtle Beach in the rest of the quarter, I don't think Jaron Fox is coming out for the rest of the game. He could hit 250 tonight.
I think we're going to see a rare example of Jaron Fox going the distance tonight.
Yeah, because we have yet to see it this season because, as we were talking about earlier, all of the blowouts either in the winning or losing side for the Panthers this season thus far. The penalty, I believe, was on Myrtle Beach. It's a 1st and 7. They'll hand it off to Livingston, and Livingston will get pulled down after a gain of 3. And it'll be a 2nd and 4 now from the 25-yard line.
They are knocking on the door of the red zone. They have been super, super efficient in the red zone tonight. 2 for 3, 2 touchdowns. They had a field goal as well. Not a terrible showing in the red zone off of the Panthers, and now they want to capitalize once again.
Snap, read option. Mullen keeps himself. He finds the lane, and he'll get taken down at the 2-yard line. He had one man to beat, but that man was able to take him down. A good job by Antonio Brown staying in his lane and undercutting Mullen to stop him from taking it to the house.
And not only are the Panthers now in the red zone, they are deep in the red zone. Just like you mentioned, the 2-yard line looking to punch in another touchdown.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Fox. And that's Livingston. And he'll push forward. No call yet. They're going to say they will say he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So the fire and ice combination each get a house call tonight, and that will extend the lead presumably up to 14 for the Panthers. And I don't think we had this on our halftime bingo card that the Panthers were going to start pulling away with this game.
That's
the extra point is up and good, and it is now 31-17 with just under 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
And now you score another touchdown to start off this game, 17-17 at halftime, doing a beautiful job to sort of pull away to start off this third quarter. Still plenty of football left to play. You don't want to get too comfortable. You don't want to get complacent. But you are very, very happy with what you are seeing out of the gate as a Panther.
You are in a much more comfortable position right now.
That's exactly right.
Than you were going into the second half. We'll take a quick break, come right back with some more Carolina Forest Panther football action. 31-17, just under 5 left to go in the third quarter.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market, and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of the switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Kickoff is up, is fielded at the 15-yard line, trying to get it around the corner, but getting taken down at the 24-yard line.
First and 10 Seahawks.
Cawthon on the return.
It's one of the best times of a Friday night, folks. It's time for 2-for-1 pizza and hot dogs.
And now for the Seahawks. You're getting buried a little bit. 14 unanswered to start off the second half for the Panthers. You need to respond. If you want a shot at this region, here it is right here. It's in front of you. You need to turn up. You need to get back into this game. Panthers are starting to pull away with this one a little bit. You need to show them that you have something left in the tank. If not, they're just going to keep running all over you.
Cohen gets the handoff and gets taken down from behind after a gain of 2. So it'll be 2nd and 8. Shotgun set, bunch trips on the near side. Snap, 3-step drop, looking near side, lofting it up, and it is caught. Great reception by Amari Brown. And that'll be a big first down for the Seahawks. He'll get taken down at the Carolina Forest 40.
And this vertical offense from the Seahawks has just been super efficient all night. Gibson Goodrow pushing the ball downfield all night, and they are just moving vertically.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side, throwing it again, lofting it up to a wide open man in the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
And just like that, you're right back at a one-possession game.
And that's the one thing we didn't talk about earlier, and that was John Simmons, surprise, surprise, making that amazing catch, leaping up into the air and diving into the end zone for the touchdown. But that's the one thing that you have to worry about if you're a Panther is this game isn't over because of how dynamic and how fast this Myrtle Beach offense can score.
That's exactly right. And they show it off there. Get down the field in 2 plays, 2 quick vertical passes, pushing the field, stretching the length, 75 yards in 2 plays. A very impressive drive there for the Seahawks.
And a grand total of a minute coming off the clock.
That's exactly right. In a situation they're in, trying to save as much time as possible while trying to run up the score, they did exactly what they needed to. And now, there's just like we said, you have to show them that you still have some left in the tank. I think they still have some left in the tank. So, can never get too comfortable in these games, and the Seahawks are showing just why.
And I'm not sure if it was on the touchdown or on the extra point attempt, but an offsides was called on the Panthers, but it was declined. The extra point is up and good. And just like that, it is now 31-24 with just under 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And now, especially if you're the Panther secondary, you're going to need to start realizing, hey, we need to back up a little bit, and we need to start making sure that because there have been a couple of situations, the pass on the sideline to Cawthon, that pass right there into the end zone, these Myrtle Beach receivers are able to beat their coverage very easily thus far.
That's exactly right. Seahawks receivers doing a great job at noticing the coverage, noticing where these guys are lying, and just finding holes in the secondary, finding gaps, sitting down on them, exposing the secondary over the top, most of the time resulting in huge plays leading towards the end zone. And it's time for personnel maybe to come into question. Who do you have matched up on who? Are you going to switch around that personnel and match up different guys on different guys, speed-related, height-related matchups? And it's coming down to, can you keep them contained. So far, they have not been able to in that pass game.
The kickoff goes out of bounds, so the Panthers will start this next drive on the 35-yard line. And now, I mean, the good thing is that you were up 2 scores, so you're still up a touchdown. So if the offense still plays as strong as they have been, you're comfortable right now.
That's right. And you got to imagine you stick to your game, go to Jaron Fox on the ground, do not make any stupid mistakes, and give the Seahawks the ball back.
Which they do right there, but a great job by number 28. That is Malachi Gethers, who gets the tackle, and Fox tried to stiff arm him, but and he'll get pushed out of bounds right around the line to gain. They'll say it's going to be a couple of yards short. They'll actually say he went out of bounds at the Carolina Forest. I get what they were trying to do, and I get the timeout to an extent, but with this game that close, I don't know about that timeout.
I believe if you're going to try to draw them off sides like that, you have to have a play in mind that you know the Seahawks, if they don't jump, you can immediately shift to that personnel. You can shift to that play call and say, hey, we're going now.
True.
This is the call. Yeah. Let's go. Burning that timeout there could be costly in the long run, especially. And right there is just a personnel package where you make it look like you're going for it. And with a team like the Panthers, coached by Mark Morris, who are very, very these Seahawks, they line up. They think they are going for it. So when you hit a little shift, you put your running back up to contain on the punt. There's no one back there to return that. You don't have the danger of breaking off a huge punt return. It's just a beautifully run system.
And Mark Morris is not is very accustomed to doing that with quarterbacks, because they used to do it last year all the time, even just generally, where Ethan Hamilton would be the punter as well. So it's not uncommon to see that, even though this year Roman Fisher has been the punter. Normally, a pitch out to Cohen on the first play of the drive, he'll get pushed out of bounds after a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Snapped, hands off to Cohen. Cohen tries to bounce it to the outside. He'll get a little bit of space, get a first down and more before getting taken down at the 21-yard line.
First down.
And as we're just going to see here is this Myrtle Beach offense really go into its playbook, really go into its bag, and pull out anything they can. We know they are very balanced. They are very dynamic. They need to get downfield, and they need to tie this game up if you are a Seahawk.
Snap, roll, slant, a little flat route,
Pass is complete.
and will get taken down after a gain of, actually they're going to say he lost a yard.
A little 10-yard out route, was not able to get his hands come down to secure the interception, but he does get his hands up and draws a much-needed pass breakup for the Panthers on 2nd down.
They'll go empty backfield, 5 wide, 3 on the far side, 2 on the near side. He'll loft it up into the air, and again, the defense got beat, but again, luckily, he trips up,
There's a flag on the play.
and
There
Antonio Brown with a huge catch, but there is a flag on the play.
And this one, they're starting to walk back. You got to imagine why the pocket's so clean, what's going on in the trenches, what's the dirty work, and you got to imagine they're going to book the Seahawks on a hold. That negates a huge play for them on 3rd and
But
long.
again, a big concern for the Panthers right now. The Panthers secondary is getting destroyed.
And on that play, we saw a weakness from both teams. The Seahawks, it's coming down to their costly mistakes.
Yeah.
They're doing it to themselves. The Panthers, they're doing it to themselves in the secondary, just not being able to contain this dynamic pass game.
They have to start playing contain defense, back everyone up.
They just got to be able to slow down Goodrow, and his arm is firing right now. They are lucky to have this one back, but Gibson Goodrow, he's just able to read this defense, and he's putting it on his money to his receivers. He's playing an unbelievable game through the air.
So the penalty pushes Myrtle Beach back. It'll be a 3rd and 15. Snap, 3-step drop, lofting it into the air and just out of the reach of his intended target. That is J.J. Brown he was trying to go at again, and that'll bring up a 4th and 15. So a lucky break for the Panthers. Again, the mistake of the pen cost Myrtle Beach, and that's probably what's going to save Carolina Forest tonight.
It's just the self-inflicted wounds by Myrtle Beach tonight have been killer. They've just been drawing themselves out of this matchup a little bit. They just have not been able to run by Jaron Fox, who else, their big playmaker, to extend their lead to 2 possessions.
Extra
Break off big chunk runs. 14, 15, 18, 48, 57 yards. And like you just mentioned it, he doesn't look tired.
No.
He just keeps getting more. That's the type of back he is. He's elusive. He's a hard worker. He goes to work, just puts his head down, does what he has to do, picks up these big gains, and puts the Panthers in situations, in positions to take over games. Jaron Fox, an insane night. Seahawks.
Step drop, now stepping up into the pocket, rolling out to his right, now taking it down and finally being brought down. Not even really being brought down. Goodrow just stood up after a gain of, they'll say he was able to get 5. Make it 7, and it'll be a 4th and 4. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Panthers up by 14, 38-24 as we head to the final quarter. Keep it locked right here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of the switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Myrtle Beach as the Panthers look to finish this one off up by 14, 38-24. And this game would be a huge statement win for them in this new beach region and really give them a huge boost of confidence after the way they played in the non-region schedule.
That's exactly right. And these Panthers, they're coming out, and right now on a 4th and 4, they have an opportunity to make a huge stop. And you got to think, if they make this stop, they are in Seahawks territory at around their own 34-yard line, we'll call it, the Seahawks 34-yard line. If they get this stop, they're in prime position to score again and run this up to a 3-possession game in the fourth quarter.
So we were talking about this when we went to break off the air, but if you're Myrtle Beach right here, it's fourth and 4 or 4th and 3. But do you go for it here?
I mean, they're lined up in a punt look. I think Myrtle Beach would have to go for it. Granted, there's 12 minutes left. See, I just can't get behind that decision.
Playing it safe is Myrtle Beach, and the punt will take a Carolina Forest bounce, and the Panthers will get the ball back at the 42-yard line, or excuse me, the 37-yard line.
To me, if you see the Panthers offense that has been able to get down the field, mainly in the run game, their strong suit, They've been able to push the ball vertical, which is something new to us as much as this season, especially this game. I don't see a world that I would give the ball back to this offense down 2 possessions entering the fourth quarter.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Mullen takes a snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox this time nowhere to go and gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage. They say we'll get it, making sure that Fox isn't able to bounce it outside this time. Up a 2nd and 10.
Again, the Myrtle Beach High School All Sports Booster Club in Michigan Small Funeral Home trivia question of the night. Name the player who caught Everett Golson's last high school touchdown pass. First one to come tell me in the press box.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. High snap, speed option. Mullen pitches it out to Fox. Fox tries to bounce it out. He's got it. He's gone. He's gone again. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Panthers. You called it. Another Jaron Fox house call and another huge 50-plus Jaron Fox.
Not only did I call it, you called it.
Yep.
You were talking about if he's going to go for 300. There you go, 306.
300 right there. Yep.
306
And
on the ground.
We still have over 10 minutes left to go in the game. Can he get to 4? Maybe I'm pushing it a little bit.
You're pushing it, but every time you pushed it, it's responded.
Yeah.
It's responded. 306, 4 touchdowns on the ground. Are you liking the Are you satisfied?
I am. This has been his best performance of the season. And the extra point is up and good. And just like that, the Panthers extend their lead out to 21, 45-24, with just under 11 minutes left to go in the game. And, it's a pass to Amari Brown, and he will make the catch. It's a pass to Amari Brown, and he will make the catch and get a first down for Myrtle Beach, bringing it all the way up to the 34-yard line of Carolina Forest.
And for the Panthers, what you were saying earlier about the contained defense, we should start to see that soon.
And so much for that contained defense, as that pass is lofted into the end zone and is caught by J.J. Brown for a touchdown. And just like you said, 2 plays and already Myrtle Beach is in the end zone again, and this is back down to a 14-point game.
You can never count out a versatile offense that is able to stretch the field vertically as much as these Seahawks are able to. It only takes a strike or 2 with this offense, and they just proved it on this drive once again. They did it a couple drives earlier. They did it on this drive. They instantly, every time we sort of pull away, the Seahawks show us just how well coached they are, how well manned they are, how talented they are. And they show you they're not going away, and they're not going to roll over and die in this game by any means.
There was a flag on the extra point. Still waiting on it's in offsides on the Panthers. It will be declined, but they never kicked it, so the Seahawks will just kick the extra point again. The extra point is up and good. And with 10:15 left to go in the game, it is now 45-31. And we talked about it earlier, but this game has absolutely lived up to the hype.
There has been no lack of scoring. There has been no lack of entertainment. There has been no lack of anything in this game.
No lack of excitement.
That's exactly right. It has played so close and so well, so explosive. Jaron Fox, you want to break off a 62-yard touchdown? We'll break off a 62-yard touchdown pass. We'll match your run game with our pass game. We'll fit up, and we're going to show you we're not out of this game. It's just entertaining all around, and it's just great football.
So, does he go 3 for 3?
I would not put it past him to go 3 for 3. If you would have told me at the beginning of the day, getting ready for the matchup, preparing everything for the broadcast, you come to me, you say, third quarter, Fourth quarter, my apologies. Fourth quarter, 10 minutes remaining. Jaron Fox has 306 rush yards and 4 touchdowns. I would believe you. I would say, oh, so he's Jaron Fox.
Yeah.
He's just doing the usual. He's going to work. He's showing up.
The kickoff is taken down to the 29-yard line. Good return by Tristan Green on the kickoff. And now the Panthers offense gets to work once again. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Fox, and this time nowhere to go. The Seahawk defense gets into the backfield. Once again, Elijah Williams in the backfield to take Fox down. That's been, like, Fox, if he goes inside, he's been contained very well. But as soon as he bounces it to the corners, he is gone.
If he can catch a block on that outside and he can turn up and hit the secondary, it's going to be a long, long end of this game for the Seahawks. They've already experienced it 300 yards later, and you just got to imagine they're going right back to it.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Little screen, not even a screen pass, just an out pass to Fox, and he's gone! 20, 10, one man to beat, and finally gets pushed out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
You've got to be kidding me.
So close!
Like, I don't have words. I don't have words to describe Jaron Fox at this point. Unbelievable.
Well, that's what's crazy about it, is that obviously, on the last 2 drives, he's had his big touchdown runs. But he's had 3 giant either rushes or, in this case, a catch that has gotten him within at least 20 yards of the end zone from their own territory.
You want to talk about a playmaker. That is one word that encompasses Jaron Fox's whole game. Playmaker.
They'll mark him out of bounds at the 17-yard line. This time Livingston tries to power his way forward and finally gets taken down after using his offensive line as a shield. Gets taken down at the 11-yard line.
And we want to talk about the run game. It has been more than efficient. It's just, you give the ball to your playmakers, whether that's the form of a dive, a stretch, a screen pass, which we just saw Jaron Fox going all the way length to length of the field. It's been no lack of playmaking.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Livingston trying to bounce it outside, but a flock of Seahawks will take him down for a loss of 1. Tried to bounce it out, tried to use his power instead of the speed of Fox. This time for Livingston, tried to use his power to force his way to the edge, but just could not overpower a number of Seahawks right there to take him down. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
And with the Panthers being deep into Seahawks territory, being in the red zone here, you got to imagine they're in Keon Jan territory. Even if they are to get stalled out here on 3rd down, Keon Jan hit a field goal earlier from about the same distance. That would make it a 3-possession game.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox tries to power his way through, and he's still on his feet. He bounces through and gets the 1st down and more before getting taken down at the 1-yard line. That was another one of those plays where, with how small Fox is, I thought he was down, and then he just popped out on the other side of the pile.
It's just, he's able to get through these gaps, get through these holes with such precision, find where he needs to go, the patience to not just rush a hole and just break off any sort of run he needs to. It's wonderful to watch. It's a thing of beauty.
That's another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina for his 1st down.
And that puts the Panthers total at 20 first downs on the night.
They have just been offensively dominant tonight. Jaron Fox this time getting taken down right at the line of scrimmage by a couple of Seahawks.
Jaron Fox is 1 touch away from 30 touches of the ball tonight.
And over 300 yards. So
safe to say it's well
averaging
deserved.
over 10 yards a carry.
It's just, you have nearing 30 touches on the night, and you're still going over 10 yards per carry. That's not right.
No.
That is not right.
That's I'm sure you've heard the stories of Derrick Henry when he was in high school, like the type of numbers that he used to put up. Those are some Derrick Henry type numbers. This time Livingston tries to be the power back and push his way into the end zone, but he'll get stood up at the line, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1.
I mean, the only type of way you see numbers like this get put up is if you turn on a Boise State football game and watch Ashton Jeanty,
exactly.
which, in case you guys were wondering, is in the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. So it shows you just how good those numbers might be. Even if it's at the high school level, he is balling.
In my Maxwell vote, he is number 2.
Yeah, he
right
is
now.
It is something special to watch.
And that will be a timeout called by the Panthers. Doesn't really, hopefully doesn't really matter at this point, but that does leave them with only 1 timeout left with just under 6 minutes left to go in the game.
That's exactly right. Just want to take their time to think this one over. About 3rd and goal at the 1.5 yard line, and you got to imagine Chris Livingston, Jaron Fox, one of those 2 workloads is just straight halfback gut. Trust your guys, trust your O-line. But again, even if they don't get it here on this 3rd down, just pop Key and Jan in the game, let them go up and kick a field goal, a second of the game, which I'm not sure about 2 field goals for CF in a single game. That's crazy in itself. It's just been no lack of anything football-wise tonight.
Yep. So we'll take a quick break, come right back, 5:48 left to go in the game. Panthers looking to solidify this lead, up by 14 right now, 45-31 here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of the switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers looking to basically put this one on ice on this final drive, or this current drive with 5:48 left to go in the game.
As they have just been rolling down the stretch.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. They'll go Wildcat. Jaron Fox does it himself as a quarterback and takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. He does everything, doesn't he?
He is the offense.
He is.
And ladies and gentlemen, 5 touchdowns. 5. I'm almost having to bring up a second hand to hold it up.
How many yards does he have now?
319 on the ground.
Well, yes.
To account for 62 through the air.
Yep. So hey, if you include the passing, if you include the receiving yards, he probably will hit 400.
381 all-purpose yards on the ground tonight. He's 19 left to go, 5:41 left in this game. With the way the Seahawks are going to play this, Panthers are getting the ball back.
Oh, yeah.
Jaron Fox, if they want to keep it on the ground, which they are going to, if they want to keep Fox in the game.
Well, that's going to be the big question. Will
Exactly.
they keep Fox in the game? Because at this point, they're going to keep it on the ground if for no other reason than to run out the clock.
In Jaron Fox's numbers tonight, they're just taking a minute to kick in. I'm not fully processing everything that he has done on the field tonight.
I wish I knew. And when we go to break next, I may have to run over to the booth over to see if Ian Guerin knows this stat offhand. What is the most touchdowns carries or most yards in Horry County football history? Probably a lot higher, but I'm wondering if Fox is getting close.
He has to be, because it feels like tonight he has just been the man. He's been seeing the ball majority of possessions, which is normal. But for him to go for 381 and 5 touchdowns on the night, that is just unprecedented. Jaron Fox, he's always had the capability, but tonight he's putting it on full display in an offensive shootout.
The kickoff is fielded at the 30-yard line and taken out for a gain of 6. So the Seahawks will start on offense at the 36-yard line. Shotgun set, they'll hand it off, trying to find a lane, and a good carry by Cohen.
And just like you mentioned about the Panthers' defense, they are playing back off the ball a lot more on this possession, as you would imagine, up 3 possessions, knowing the Seahawks are going to try to stretch the field vertical, leading to the Seahawks running the ball there to start off the drive. They have a lot more breathing room to do such as that. Panthers starting to play off the ball a lot more.
First and 10 for the Seahawks. And a whistle is blown. Oh, wait. Okay. I think even Goodrow was confused for a moment, but he kept on going. Decided to take it himself and will get pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line for a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
So they're just a little inverted whistle, little premature whistle blow, but they're just going to let it play on. Goodrow, just like the rest of us here, were confused on what was going on. He's able to find a gain of 9.
Shotgun set, play action pass, lofting it into the air, some pushing and shoving, and incomplete, no flag.
Seahawks fans getting restless, looking for a call there down the sideline. A very similar play. We've seen this over and over. You just let John Simmons run down the sideline, Ethan Gardner in coverage, throw it up and hope for the best. We've seen that out of Goodrow and the Seahawks all night.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Goodrow takes the snap, hands it off, bouncing it out to the outside, now bouncing it in, getting the first down. Before getting taken down at the 41-yard line is Cohen. Shotgun set, rolling out and getting taken down. Good job by the Panthers defense. And primarily Jaden Peak getting the tackle for loss. And that'll bring up a 2nd and long. Timeout is called by Myrtle Beach.
I mean, Jaden Peak coming off the edge. That's been a storyline all season. Very much improved over the offseason. Very explosive, very fast coming off the edge. And he's just been a nightmare for quarterbacks in the pocket. We talk about the Panthers' ability to close pockets and create pressure on these opposing quarterbacks, and they've shown signs of that tonight as well. Their defense has not been light on these Seahawks tonight at all. They've been playing good defense.
So with under 5 minutes left to go in the game, I think at this point you can say this is all but over.
Panthers roll to a big Region 6 5A victory.
Yes.
And one where you hang up 52 points, a very electric offensive matchup.
Shotgun set, 3-step drop. Nice juke move to avoid some pressure, but throwing it out of bounds. And that will bring up a 3rd and long. Goodrow trying to avoid the pressure and put a little stutter step juke move on the Carolina Forest defender, but just could not get the accurate pass after that.
It's a great play in the pocket, great awareness to be able to avoid that pressure that we were just mentioning, and Goodrow is just able to roll out to the right and just dump off to a receiver.
Snap. Hands it off. Cullen tries to find a lane. He's still on his feet before getting taken down at the 26-yard line.
Cohen on the carry for another Seahawks first down.
And that'll be enough for another Seahawks first down. Good tackle in the open field by Charles McCray. Snap. 3-step drop. Goodrow stepping up into the pocket. Still looking. Pressure coming, and he'll get taken down for a sack.
In the backfield, Anthony Cunningham, another defender that has been explosive all season, been great coming off the line, just forcing quarterbacks to make decisions, make irrational choices at times. In this pressure,
A.J. Palmer was also right there.
There you go, nose tackle, defensive tackle, A.J. Palmer. This D-line has just been showing up as of late in this game. Not to mention the offense has been rolling. This defense has not been allowing anything to move starting here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they had some struggles in the first half, but in the second half, they've been pretty much lights out.
Just been overall, this second half has just been taken over and dominated by the Panthers. They've done exactly what they need to in all aspects of the game. Just come out here and straight up dominate this second half. And like we mentioned, get a huge region victory.
So it'll now be 3rd and long. Excuse me, it'll be 2nd and long, 2nd and 14. Snap, 1-step drop, pressure again coming. Cunningham has to roll out, throw it away. Goodrow rolling out, throwing it away. And again, the pressure for the Panthers coming in, and just Goodrow has no time. Like, it's funny, earlier they were getting some coverage sacks where Goodrow had some time, but there was no one to throw it to. Now the pressure is just getting to Goodrow, and he's having to scramble and throw it away.
It's just been overall, this defense has been overbearing for the Seahawks. As of late, coming down the stretch, Seahawks.
And they're going to call a roughing the passer on the Panthers, so an unlucky break for Carolina Forest.
They're just going to allow the Seahawks to sort of roll into the red zone here and keep some hope alive, keep the drive alive. But 4 minutes left in this game, down 3 possessions. Panthers definitely looking good in the driver's seat.
Shotgun set, play action pass, and that ball is thrown out of the back of the end zone. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
And students, if you are waiting on a ride, please make sure you call or text your parent or guardian.
As the Seahawks, they're just looking to get into the end zone. They're trying to take whatever they can off this possession. 3:46 remaining. Just took a shot at the end zone. You got to imagine with this vertical offense, they're just going to just keep going back to that vertical pass towards the end zone, just trying to put one in.
Snap, 3-step drop. Stepping up into the pocket is Goodrow, trying to throw it into the end zone, and it is caught in the end zone for a touchdown.
As the Seahawks, they just want to show again.
And Simmons again.
That they're not just rolling over and dying here in the fourth quarter. They want to show that they still have their competitive spark, that even when they're getting pinned down in these situations, they're not just going to give up and roll over. They're going to keep playing this game, and they're going to keep doing whatever they can do to stay in it.
The extra point will cut the deficit down to 14, and he makes it. But now with only 3:51 left to go, you have to imagine that they're going to have to go for an onside kick already.
That's exactly right.
So we'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of the switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers looking to continue their dominance offensively here.
And there's one thing to look at on this drive. Jaron Fox, 19 more yards would put him at 400 all-purpose yards. Probably only a handful of times a Panthers running back has gone for 400 yards.
Yeah. I would say that that doesn't happen very often.
Not very often.
I mean, back a few years back with the Janak attack, Luke put a few pretty big games on.
That's right. Had a ton of big running back names here come through CF. David Leggett,
yep.
Jakeem Sumter. You got the Janak attack. Khalil Johnson, obviously, as of late. Now Jaron Fox sort of taking over that role. Chris Livingston, the Fire and Ice.
And Livingston this time on the carry. Well, actually, that is number 22. Well, I don't think we've called all year. So maybe the backups. Oh, wait, no, that's Joe Ober. I think he was just on the front end. That was Livingston, I believe, who made that carry. It is Livingston out there still.
As this clock just starts to tick away, just at 3 minutes left, up 2 possessions. Just trying to move the ball, not take any risks, keeping this ball on the ground. We're not going to see any balls come through the air here. Strictly ground and pound. Jaron Fox is out of the game. He's going to get put in for his 400.
Read option as Mullen keeps himself, and he'll get enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
As this clock just continues to tick away, no contest from the Seahawks when it comes to timeouts or any sort of stop clocking. Seems like the Panthers here are just going to roll to a 3-0 Region 6 5A record.
They'll go shotgun set, one wide on either side. Hands it off to Livingston. Livingston is gone. He almost got tripped up by one man. He's able to stay on his feet before getting taken down at the 6-yard line. And they're going to call an illegal shift, however, on the Panthers.
And even though the penalty is going to take this one back, just when we talk about this run game, just how dynamic it is, the fire and ice, you can go from one back to the other, the special capabilities of each back. Chris Livingston's shown his ability to be able to hit those holes and as well turn up when he hits that second gear all the way down to the 6-yard line. Obviously the penalty draws it back, but this running back room is nothing short of special.
So that'll push the Panthers back. It will be 1st and 15. Just over 2 minutes left to go in this one, and this one's pretty much all but over. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, keeps himself on the read option, bounces it out to the outside before getting taken down at the 33-yard line. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Trending toward the 90 seconds left here on the clock. Just continues to tick down play after play. Second down here, and the Panthers are coming up. Just going to have the ability to put this one in victory formation and put it away.
Second and 10, ball on the 33-yard line. Just over a minute left to go in this one. Snap. Hands it off to Livingston. Livingston pushes forward. Will get close to a first down. Just a yard short. And it'll be a 3rd and 1.
It's going to be right at that line. It's going to be about, just like you mentioned, 3rd and 1. Closing in on 3rd and inches. About 45 seconds left in this one. So you got to think, punch it, get a first down, and this one is all but over for the Panthers.
I mean, this may be the last play of the game because we are under 40 seconds in the game. So just running it one more time, even if you don't get the first down, it's still under the play clock. They will, nope, Mullen will keep it himself and will get enough for the final Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down of the evening. And that will stop the clock with the first down, but you'd have to imagine the Panthers, once they get set, they're just going to let this run. And, yeah, it looks like both teams are leaving the field, and that will do it for this one. The Panthers win in dominant offensive fashion, 52-38. Jaron Fox, the game of his career tonight, utter domination on the ground. And the Panthers advance to 4-3-1. Myrtle Beach falls to 4-4. And like we talked about, assuming that North Myrtle Beach doesn't beat the Seahawks next week, presumably the Panthers have their destiny in their hands. They are in the driver's seat on whether or not they will win Region 6-5A this season.
That's exactly right. And they took care of business tonight. They did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to come out here and put on a dominant showing. They needed to win this game in much just a statement fashion. And they did just that. Jaron Fox, the workload of this offense, we mentioned 381 all-purpose yards. Just insane numbers. 319 of those coming on the ground with 5 rushing touchdowns. This offense was just clicking. It was very dynamic. This defense looked to turn up and get huge swallowing stops down the stretch, and they put up a 50-burger, an impressive feat in any matchup.
Oh, yeah.
And this Panthers team just looked to roll. They proved why they are front runners in this region, why they were favorites in this region, and why beautiful spot